Hello and good evening, everyone, from Harlan County as the Black Bears take on the North Laurel Jaguars. You see WYMT's Justin Case and Harlan County High School Athletic Director Mark Bailey out in midfield for tonight's check presentation. WYMT, proud sponsor of athletics throughout Eastern Kentucky. But tonight, it's district play as the opener for both Harlan County and North Laurel in Class 5A District 8. Hello and good evening, everyone, to the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. I'm Eugene Farmer here. North Laurel comes into the matchup tonight 3-2 with losses to South Laurel and Somerset, combined with victories over Prestonsburg, Middlesboro, and Grant County. Harlan County 0-4 on the season with losses to Ashland, Hazard, Knox Central, and Wayne County. This has turned into a great rivalry. It was two great games last year on our Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. And when we come back, it'll be kickoff of Harlan County and North Laurel here from Coal Miners Memorial Stadium in the foothills of Harlan County on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Good evening and welcome to Harlan County as the Black Bears and North Laurel set to kick off here. Class 5A District 8 matchup. Last year, two great meetings as Harlan County won both at North Laurel. In the regular season, it was 23-13. And in the playoffs, in the Class 5A Region 4 semifinals, it was the Black Bears winning 28-21, propelling them to that Class 5A Region 4 championship that they would later win the following week as they defeated Southwestern on the road. Tonight it's going to be Patrick Bynum with the kickoff for Harlan County as it teed off on the left hash of their own 40-yard line. North Laurel back deep to receive as I welcome in Justin Case to tonight's broadcast as Bynum squib kicks it all the way down to about the 25-yard line. North Laurel jumps on it late. Storm Gambrell trying to recover it. Muffed it, and then late we had Jacob Bowman, the 5'5 freshman, recovering it for North Laurel at their own 26-yard line. Justin, good evening to you as we're set for a good one here.
Yeah, I'm going to catch my breath a little bit, sprinting up those steps, reminding me how out of shape I am getting up here. But hopefully these two teams are in shape. I mean, they're in midseason form, and we were talking about it in the pregame before the game started that this was the point of the season last year for Harlan County where they turned things around, and it all starts now.
For North Laurel, they'll start in a trips formation. Three wideouts left, one to the right. Quentin Hauser will be the quarterback tonight, 5'9", 157-pound junior. Hauser, straight quarterback draw up the middle, dives ahead to around the 30-yard line. Going to be a quick pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down and 6. We thought we would see Dalton Sizemore at quarterback. He was taking primary reps with the first-team offense while North Laurel was warming up. But here comes Hauser to lead the Jaguar offense, Justin.
Yeah, and Sizemore actually had a pretty decent game, even though they lost last week. Had, he was 5 for 11. He actually rushed 3 times for 34 yards. He's been pretty consistent on the season.
So North Laurel will come again with trips left, one wide out to the right. Hauser's in the shotgun set, 4-man front for Harlan County. Quick out pass. It's trying to get outside and slung down on the catch. Grant Woods will take it for a loss of about 4 back to the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 3rd down and 11. Great defensive back play that time from Harlan County.
Yeah, that was great DB play, but I think that was designed for Storm Gambrill to set up that block. Had he actually successfully had that block on the outside, there was at least 5 yards to be had there.
On that pass, we saw Sizemore work in there at quarterback, and now we see him taking quarterback reps here for North Laurel on a big 3rd and 11. Trips right, one wide out left, one set back to Dalton Sizemore's right here on 3rd down and a long 10. Deep drop for Sizemore. Looks, getting chased, scrambles out of the pocket, looks downfield deep, wants it all for Gambrill, and he's wide open at the 40. Look out, Gambrill to the 20, to the 10, and North Laurel is on the board first. 75 yards from Dalton Sizemore to Storm Gambrill, the 5'9 junior, and Chris Larkey's Jaguars crack first.
What I'm so surprised at, look at him escape the pressure in his face, still keeps his eyes downfield on the run. Doesn't even have time to square his shoulders up, launches it downfield, and look at that. Storm Gambrill just able to sneak behind the last defensive back. Dalton Johnson was back there, but I think Johnson kind of thought that it was a broken play. Maybe he had to come up and help make a tackle there.
Right. 75 yards on 3rd and 11, and North Laurel is on the board first. Dalton Sizemore will hold. High snap, kick is up, end over end, a flag flies as it is good. Or excuse me, no good, the officials are going to say, but we do have a flag.
Flag was in the end zone, so it may be on Harlan County. It looks like Harlan County's backing up, anticipating another play here. They're going to make one quick substitution. And North Laurel will run off the field.
Yeah, North Laurel's going to go for it after the penalty on Harlan County. Seeing where the flag was thrown, just it almost always has to be 12 men on the field. Illegal substitution on Harlan County. Yeah.
12 men. Well, I think after that play, Sizemore is probably going to be who we're going to see for the rest of this game from North Laurel after that pass. That was
prior to that pass, he was 14 of 41 on the year, 177 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Certainly adding to the stats there. 75-yard strike to Storm Gambrill.
And it was on the money.
Yeah, and the Jaguars strike first. So here we go. Power eye behind Sizemore. Hutton Shepard will be the last man through for the Jaguars. They're going to give it to him, rolling left, fights and does not get in. And the 2-point conversion is no good. We've got a late flag that flies from head referee Tim Kelly of Middlesboro, Kentucky.
You know, I remember when we did our first game of the season, North Laurel versus South Laurel, a lot of the question marks around this Jaguars team were, well, they don't really have a lot of continuity. In fact, they lost every single starter from last season, and they looked like they struggled a little bit against South Laurel. And it looks like they're going to say,
yeah, it was a illegal formation on North Laurel. The penalty is going to be declined, and the 2-point conversion is no good. Nonetheless, it takes North Laurel a minute 42 seconds to put together a 75-yard scoring drive as they lead Harlan County 6-0 here on the road, Justin.
But that North Laurel drive right there, I mean, couldn't really get a whole lot going in the run game, and it looked like, I mean, Harlan County did keep their defensive backs about 5 to 10 yards off the line. They did have safety help over the top, but again, I think it just looked like a broken play. It looked like they all needed to come up and help, which is how Storm Gambrill got so open. But going back to what we were talking, do you remember that conversation? We were wondering, what is this team going to look like? We didn't even know for sure who the starting quarterback was going to be, or you know who some of the stars were going to be, because we really hadn't seen many of the players from the Jaguars. It's
a good crowd has filled in here at Harlan County tonight As district play begins here in Class 5A District A, North Laurel comes out, gets on top 6-0. You know, if you're Chris Larkey coming on the road, you've won 3 of your last 4. You know, this team is on a positive trend. You have to love the way you've started.
Absolutely. And, you know, they had 3 big wins after that opening loss. I mean, they just lost their last game 0-41. That was against Somerset, I believe. And that game was just, I mean, they were up against one of the best talents in the mountains. So that was a tough one. But, yeah, this is a huge game. And really, this matchup was a huge rivalry last season. Harlan County was kind of like the Cinderella team of the mountains, kind of felt like last season.
Will this season have the same storybook ending as it is going to be Dalton Sizemore? I believe it's going to be Dalton Sizemore as a teed up on the left hash of his own 40-yard line with 10:18 to play here in the first quarter.
And for Harlan County, you know, I think both of these teams are at a similar point in their programs. Both teams kind of feel like they're on a little bit of a rebuild. North Laurel seeming to find their way a little bit quicker, but Harlan County still has a lot of talent on their squad.
Sizemore moves on it. Squib kick fielded by Harlan County. Now fumbled. He's going to hop on it at the 32-yard line. And that's where they will take over. 1st and 10. 68 yards from Pater. We're seeing both teams kind of struggle fielding those squib kicks here in the early going, Justin.
And they're successful. And, you know, you got those great runners all the way back for both squads. You don't want to kick it deep and allow them to have the blocks develop or find the seams and break through. I think those squib kicks are really effective just because of how hard it is to field the ball. And by the time you field it, your kick defense is already down there.
Jacob Bailey, the 5'9 junior, fielded that kick for North Laurel. So it's going to be Jacob Wilson under center. Leads it to the last man through. Tyler Castellari for Harlan County, the 5'8", 188-pound junior. Takes it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Going to be a pickup of 4 and bring up 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, we were wondering last time we saw Harlan County who their starting quarterback was going to be. We saw kind of a 2-quarterback system. I believe it was Jay Harris who also had some snaps when we watched them last. But Jacob Wilson, he can really run it as well as he can pass it. Last game at 57 yards through the air and 29 on the ground. Actually had 2 touchdown runs, I believe, in that game.
Wishbone formation for Harlan County. Wilson is going to keep it himself, rolling outside the pocket and gets across the 40 to the 45 and then being rode down across midfield after a huge pickup, tackle by Jace Hacker, the 6-foot freshman linebacker, but not after a big gain from Jacob Wilson. On cue, Justin, as you see the Harlan County Tourism replay.
Look at the blockers up front. You had the line, but you had some of the offensive linemen make nice tackles up there. Running back got up to the next level, and his speed just to find the outside was just superb right there.
1st and 10, Harlan County. 9 minutes and 15 seconds in counting here in the first quarter. Wishbone formation for Wilson again. 2 tight ends set, no wideouts. They lead it with Ben Landis this time rolling to the right across the 45. Fights his way down to the 40-yard line. A late flag thrown by the umpire. That's typically in the area of holding. We'll see.
Yeah, Landis is really Harlan County's premier running back right now. If you don't count Wilson, who likes to keep it himself, this one's coming back, it looks like.
It negates what would have been a 7-yard gain from Ben Landis.
Landis is able to drag people with him. We see a few players like that here in the mountains. Landis, just a very strong runner, but no matter what, no matter where he gets contacted from, he's still able to keep moving forward and keep his legs churning.
So they march it back 10 yards for the spot of the foul. We'll take it back into Harlan County territory at their own 47-yard line, and that will bring up 1st down and 16 for the Black Bears.
I can't believe how much action we've already seen in the first few minutes. This has been a good game so far. Harlan County now up against it. 15 yards for the 1st down here, but it's still 1st down.
Wilson will send one wide out to the right. Offset eye behind him. He'll fake it. Wilson looks to throw. He's going to go deep. Got a man out there, and it's going to be incomplete.
Wow.
Coverage by North Laurel's Brody Brinks, the 5'10 sophomore.
That was an unbelievable fake. And, you know, you're not just seeing head coach Warren Creech with his hands up in the air. Every single person on the Harlan County sideline was wondering where the flag was. It looked like some contact there. May have been from both sides. Both sides may have been pushing a little bit, but what a beautiful fake. I couldn't believe Wilson still had the ball right there. Did he fake you out too?
No, that time I think Wilson, it was a set-up design play action pass.
I thought he got rid of it immediately, but did a great job kind of hiding the ball from the defensive line that time.
New formation from Harlan County. 2 wideouts left, 1 to the right. 1 set back beside Wilson, and we're going to have a timeout taken by North Laurel. Chris Larkey wants to regroup after Harlan County changed formations there. Here with a little over 8 minutes to go here into the first quarter. What's your overall thoughts thus far, Justin? North Laurel and Harlan County. A similar start to the 2 games we had last year with North Laurel jumping out to an early lead.
Yeah, North Laurel, they can score very quickly. I think they still have to establish the run game because Harlan County's defensive backs do a good job going toe-to-toe down the field, just like what we saw from North Laurel right there, defending that pass. But I think both teams are built very similarly. I think both teams would like to be a run-first team, but both these quarterbacks, both Wilson and Sizemore, can throw it deep downfield. I think both teams are still trying to find their identity a little bit, but they know who their stars are. It's just what plays are we going to – what's effective? What's a good call for our bunch?
We have already seen more passing in this game than I expected to, possibly even with both games last year here in the early going between these two.
Well, Wilson ended last game with only 57. He beat that on his first throw of the game. More yards than he had all of last game.
2 wideouts left, 1 to the right for Wilson as he goes under center. Single back set. Now he'll drop back to the shotgun. Man goes in motion. Wilson looking right. He's going to keep it himself. Straight quarterback draw. Gets maybe a yard ahead across the 47 to the 48. Host of Jaguars in there on the tackle that time, led.
I think it was John Allen in there.
Yeah, John Allen.
That time they were not faked. Wilson had a lot of success the first time it was a quarterback keeper, getting, 10 or more yards on his first run. But that time the defensive line was kind of looking for it. They were kind of expecting it. I wonder if they'll go back to Landis right here. But it is 3rd and 16. Could we see them open up the passing game once more?
Wilson under center. DeMarco Hopkins and Tyler Casolari behind him. 1 wide out to the left is going to take it. Look deep again, does Wilson. He's got a man out there. It's Bynum, and it's going to be incomplete. Pass broken up that time by Brody Brinks. Coming over for the safety position. The 5'10 sophomore makes a nice defensive play. And it'll bring up 4th down and about 15 for the Black Bears.
I'm just so impressed with Wilson. I mean, not only is his ability to hand it off and really sell the handoff working, but the running backs. That time I believe it was Landis who really sold the run. He looked like he had both arms wrapped around the ball, hit the line so hard, but just a great way to fake the defense out. But that time Brody Brinks did a great job keeping his eye on the ball.
Patrick Bynum to punt. Good snap. Kick is up high, spiraling kick, angle to the right. It's going to be fumbled, I believe, and Harlan County is going to say they have it. And a late flag flies. At about the 27-yard line, Harlan County saying they have it. Did he call for the fair catch? We're fixing to get the official call from head referee Tim Kelly.
Well, that was just a very, very hard hit. I can't see the number.
Yeah, Storm
Gambrel, but he had no idea that blindside hit was coming, and that was a full head of steam that just crunched Gambrel. And he is now up, able to walk off on the field. Hopefully he's okay. He's a big part of their offense. But check this out. I couldn't see if he threw up an arm for a fair catch or not, but by the time he gets this, look at that hang time on that punt. Just gets leveled. And surprisingly, or not surprisingly, he does let go of the ball there because that was like I said, that was a guy sprinting 40 yards downfield, hitting him as he caught it.
Officials conferring.
They might be talking about.
They're going to call catch interference on Harlan County. So the flag was thrown at about the 27-yard line of North Laurel. Will likely be a 15-yard penalty.
So that's going to set up another opportunity here. Remember, Harlan County, they've kind of struggled to get things going early in the games. This is the best I've seen them look so far. 15 yards. And they're going to re-kick this, I believe.
So it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. 7:46 to play here in the first quarter.
They've had a couple big plays, but remember, some of the games we've watched earlier this season, they've struggled to get some things going early on and connect. That time, they were pretty close to, keeping the chains moving.
As you see Coach Eddie Creech out there having a few words with
they are going to re-kick this one.
Head referee Tim Kelly, pleading his case to both Kelly and Danny Griffin. Eddie Creech.
I can understand his frustration, though, just because if he didn't call for a fair catch, then that should have been a fumble recovery by Harlan County.
Eddie, an alumnus of Cumberland High School, just up the road here. One of the schools who consolidated into Harlan County High School. Actually led his team to the Sweet 16 at Rupp Arena under head coach Bill Scott at Cumberland High School back in 2003. Nonetheless, I believe it'll be 4th down and a lot, we'll call it, Justin, as the ball is going to be placed all the way back to the 33-yard line.
And look at this from North Laurel. No one back deep. Actually, guess what? Storm Gambrill is back out on the field, so after taking that huge hit and taking a while to get back up, he is back out there, but no one back deep for North Laurel. Might try to block this one.
Bynum standing at his own 20, calls for it. Fumbled snap, looks. Barely got the punt off. Takes a good Harlan County bounce all the way inside the 35 down to around the 31-yard line. Not a bad punt at all from Patrick Bynum considering the bobbled snap, and he barely got the punt off.
And the 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
All of a sudden that's pretty close to where North Laurel got the ball the first time. So it doesn't really affect them, except it does take a little bit of time off the clock.
So it's 1st down and 10 for the Jaguars on their second offensive possession of the night. They lead it 6-0 here on the road over Harlan County, the Class 5A District 8 opener. Dalton Sizemore breaks the huddle. He'll be in the shotgun set. He'll send trips out to the right, one wide out to the left, and the step back to his right will be Connor Robinson, the 5'7" sophomore. Screen pass out left side. Has his man, fights his way ahead for a couple of yards. That's going to be all. Gavin Hurst, the 5'8" freshman, on the reception. Gets it for a gain of 1, maybe 2. We'll generously call it 2nd down and 8.
Well, that time I noticed what North Laurel did. They had 2 receivers at the near sideline. Harlan County didn't trust it, so not only did they have a defensive back playing man-to-man, but they also had safety help over the top near side, which left that receiver on the far side wide open. I mean, it was man-to-man. He had one guy to beat, but that just goes to show you how good the defense is of the Black Bears.
Sizemore, or actually it's going to be Hauser this time, taking himself, going to find his way ahead or around the 34-yard line. That's going to be all to bring up 3rd down and 8.
I think he was expecting a little bit of some blocking from his receivers.
Hauser
at that side.
More so the running quarterback, while Sizemore more so the pocket passer. Hauser, the 5'9", 157-pound junior, takes it that time for a gain of 1. And a big third down coming up for the North Laurel offense.
They sent Sizemore back out, which makes me think they could be trying to set up a pass play here. They're going to send Trips.
Yeah, Trips left, one wide out to the right. It's going to be Hauser. Sizemore calls for it. Three-step drop. Harlan County bringing blitz. Sizemore breaks containment. Going to try to run it himself across the 35. Fights ahead across the 40, down to around the 41, maybe the 42. This one's going to be really close.
I can't believe that. You saw his jersey get pulled over his shoulder pad there. He got hit early. Check this out. In the backfield, had to escape pressure. Didn't like the coverage, didn't like the look downfield. Look at that grab, still escapes it. He's going to get hit here, but squeezes through, has a nice block. Then he's going to get dragged down. I mean, it's going to be, could be 4th and inches here.
Elisha Smallwood, the 6'3 junior, got his hand on Sizemore. Sizemore able to break away. The nose of the football is really close to the 42. If it's not a first down, it's going to be 4th and very short. We'll see.
Yeah, this is a beautiful stadium. I think my first time here. And they're going to say it's about an inch short.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So what does Chris Larkey do here, Justin?
I think you go for it. I mean, I don't even think it's a question here. Maybe you keep Sizemore in there, quarterback keeper. I'm going to measure it one more time. Yeah, it's about, a few inches there. But even a quarterback keeper, if you really want to trick the defense, maybe a quick pass to the outside, all of a sudden, that's something that Harlan County's not expecting at all.
Just over halfway through the first quarter here. Big 4th down for North Laurel in their own territory as Sizemore will be under center. Grant Woods will be the lone setback behind him as they go sort of a 2 tight end look. One wide out to the right is going to be Brody Brinks, rather.
They are in run block protection here.
Sizemore takes it himself, has the first down up to the 45-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 3, first down, Jaguars.
You can kind of tell that. I used to play offensive line, and I look at what the offensive line, are they leaning back a little bit? Are they more on their heels, or are they on their toes? That time, they didn't even want to hide it. They were all leaning forward. You could tell they were going to be driving as soon as that ball was snapped.
1st and 10 North Laurel at their own 45. Ball marked on the left hash. A little over halfway through the first quarter. North Laurel struck first with that 75-yard touchdown pass on 3rd and 11 on their first offensive possession. Sizemore under center. Man comes in motion is Woods. Handoff, right side, fights his way ahead to about the 47-yard line. That's going to be all. That time, ball carrier Jacob Bowman, the 5'5 freshman tailback, gets it for a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
I think one of the strengths from this Harlan County team that we're seeing is they do a great job filling the gaps and actually getting pressure. Even if they only have 4 down linemen, it's really tough to run. If you're running in between the tackles, it's nearly impossible against this Black Bear squad. Outside the tackles, they're linebackers. Harlan County's linebackers can fly around the field. It's just tough to run on this team.
Using a double wing set now. Sizemore hands off right side. That's going for very little. A host of Black Bears there after a gain of about 1. Same play, same man. Jacob Bowman there again. Host of Black Bears in on the tackle. Patrick Bynum, Jordan Steele, Gary Henson in on that one for a pickup of, we'll call it 1 and bring up 3rd down and 7 for North Laurel.
Yeah, so far what's been working is the quarterback keepers and the passing game for North Laurel. I wonder if they're going to go back to that here. Taking their time back in that huddle.
Play clock is down to 5. And we're going to have a timeout. Taken by Chris Larkey and North Laurel. We're going to take it with them. 4:09 to play in the first. It's North Laurel 6-0. Big 3rd down coming up on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Big third down for North Laurel here as we welcome you back to the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. 4:09 to play first quarter, 3rd and 7 for North Laurel on their second offensive possession. Double wing set, Brody Brinks, the wide out to the right. Swing pass. Left side, plenty of room, and look out. One man to beat, drugged down at about the 31-yard line. It's their man Jacob Bowman again, the 5'5 freshman.
There's a flag on the field right around the 50. This one might be coming back, though. Could be a hold. That's why that outer edge could have been so easy for him to run around.
And it is.
Yeah, it's going to be a holding call. But what speed. I couldn't believe how fast he got to the edge there. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
It's going to back them up 10 yards to the spot of the foul. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 14 for North Laurel at their own 41-yard line.
You might see a play action here, but I guarantee that they're passing on this one. You can see the 3 receivers, actually 4 now.
Trips right, 1 wide out left for Sizemore. 1 setback to his right here on 3rd and long. Sizemore, 3-step drop, looks, breaks containment, pass too high, intended for Gambrell. If he catches that ball, he's got plenty of running room for the first down and more. Nonetheless, falls incomplete, and North Laurel will be forced to punt for the first time tonight.
Yeah, that was just some fantastic pass rushing. I think I saw Andrew Johnson down there leading the charge. Big number 86, who's huge out there. Actually, is that 80? That's 66, excuse me.
Jordan Steele.
Jordan Steele. He was in his face that time. He can fly around the field. Don't let his size fool you. But you could tell that time Sizemore was very uncomfortable in the backfield, more so than he was on the previous pass plays. Had to throw it a lot earlier than he wanted to, which is why he let it sail over his receiver's head.
Good snap for Sizemore. High but short kick, spiraling. Hits at about the 34-yard line, takes the Harlan County bounce, and it'll be down at the 35-yard line by Braden Mills of North Laurel. And that's where Harlan County will take over on their second offensive possession, trailing at 6-0. Sort of a defensive battle here in the first quarter, Justin.
Yeah, but the Black Bear defense just kept them in this game. I mean, their offense, they're still finding their way, and I think, with Wilson at quarterback, now they're starting to see that he can throw it around just as well as he can run, just as well as some of the running backs can run. So they're becoming more two-dimensional. Early in the season, they were very, very run-heavy. So all of a sudden, they're starting to get more balanced, but their defense is keeping them in this one early.
Wishbone formation behind Wilson. He traps it left side. That one's going to be, I believe, Castellari takes it up to the 40-yard line for a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5. Tyler Castellari, the 5'8", 188-pound junior.
I mean, even after Castellari got hit, he just dived forward.
Castellari, 34 carries on the year for 161 yards and a touchdown.
He got smashed at the line, but still just kind of leaped another 4 yards.
Yeah, good hard run. Wishbone formation again for Wilson. This time Landis moving right, very little. Great play that time by John Allen, the linebacker for North Laurel, the 5'10", 221-pound junior. 32 tackles on the year, 4 solo. For Allen, gets Landis for a gain of 1 to the 41-yard line, and quickly a huge 3rd down for Harlan County.
Right, but you'll notice what North Laurel is doing. They're kind of cheating up a little bit. You can see those linebackers creeping up a little bit towards the edge. All of a sudden, look where this defensive back is playing. Less than 5 yards off the receiver. If they wanted to open up the passing game, they could catch him snoozing.
Castellari left side again, very little, spins to about the 43, and that's going to be all. Great interior line play that time from Dalton Sizemore, the linebacker coming up to make a big play. Assisting there, Draven Fuller, the 5'7" freshman.
I like this play call. They're going to go for it. Wilson got the call from Creech, heads back out there to relay it to his squad. But all of a sudden, you know, what's worked really well for Harlan County is that play action, selling the run and passing it downfield. They only need 2 yards here, so their options are still open if they want to keep it on the ground.
Benjamin Lewis will be the wide out to the left for Harlan County. So we've got an injury substitution for North Laurel. Jacob Robinson will exit. And in comes Landon Smallwood, the 6'1 junior, to replace him. 4th and 2 for Harlan County. Wishbone said Lewis, the wide out to the left. Wilson traps it, or keeps it himself, and he's not going to get it. Down at the 42-yard line, and the North Laurel defense has stood tall. John Allen and Dalton Sizemore make the play, and the Jaguar defense makes a huge stand, and they're going to get the football in Harlan County territory.
And that's just such a good job. I mean, you know, for us up here, just watching it, and we have a completely different vantage point than some of the linebackers or defensive linemen. We're even getting tricked on who has the ball on any given play. That's how good this Black Bear squad sells the fakes. And it looked like Wilson could have gotten it, but I don't even know how Allen and Sizemore saw that he still had the ball, because these running backs, after they sell the fake, they continue running through the line. Just good eyes so far from the Jaguars.
Sizemore under center, 2 wing backs. Going to be Bowman, the lone setback behind him. Brinks is the wide out to the left. And we are going to have a timeout taken by Coach Eddie Creech and the Harlan County Black Bears. Their second timeout here of the first half. 6-0, North Laurel leads with the football. Justin, they've been impressive on both sides of the ball thus far.
North Laurel has been, but I think, you know, Harlan County's defense, who's now back out onto the field after their offense couldn't move the chains, they've been superb as well. They've really shut down the entire Jaguars running game. But if you're North Laurel, you have to be impressed watching Sizemore. I think he's really had a major impact in this game, and luckily for North Laurel also, Storm Gambrill, who got injured on that kick return, was able to come back out on the very next play. Doesn't look like he's missed a step. Still flying around this field.
1st and 10 for North Laurel, the right hash of the Harlan County 42-yard line. The Jaguars lead it 6-0 on a 75-yard touchdown pass from Dalton Sizemore to Storm Gambrill on the Jaguars' first offensive possession on 3rd and 11. Put North Laurel up 6-0 as it stands now. Coming out of the big 4th down stand for the Jaguars, they'll have it 1st and 10 as Sizemore's going to go under center. Bowman will be the setback behind him. Brinks is the wide out to the left. Double wing sets. Sizemore. Bowman fumbles the football, but I think he fell on it at around the 42, maybe the 43-yard line. Fortunate there for the Jaguars. That could have been a huge turnover for the Black Bear defense.
Yeah, quick recovery from Bowman. As soon as he kind of missed the handoff there, fell to the ground. Bowman really just wanted to secure it, fell right on top of it. The defensive linemen, I think they just saw the fumble just a hair too late, because they were in good position to grab that one too. But you know what I was thinking about? Hey, the Cleveland Browns got their first win last night. Could the Harlan County Black Bears get their first win of this early season tonight?
A daily double, so to speak. Sizemore under center. Bowman the setback behind him. Deep drop for Sizemore. Slant pattern caught by Brinks down at around the 31-yard line, and it's going to be good enough for a North Laurel first down. Brody Brinks, the 5'10 sophomore. 3 catches on the year for 41 yards. That's a big one there. It gives North Laurel the first down.
Brinks had a great route he ran that time. And I want to give a shout out to Patrick Bynum, too, of the defense, because he was right behind him. I mean, he was right there to make the tackle. You couldn't play any closer defense than that, but that was a superb route and a great delivery from Sizemore.
1st and 10 North Laurel. At the Harlan County 31, Sizemore will be under center. 2 wing backs is Hutton Shepard and Storm Gambrill. This time Grant Woods will be the setback behind Sizemore prior to the play being stepped. We're going to have a timeout taken by Chris Larkey and the North Laurel Jaguars.
Hey, this game means so much to both of these teams, and I kind of had a feeling both of these teams were going to play up to their max potential just because of how much they clashed last season. North Laurel wanted to do a little bit more against Harlan County, but Harlan County, man, they got hot at the right time last season. We were just talking about it before. Could it start tonight for them? They had a pretty rough start to the season last year, but then ended up going deep into the playoffs this season. I think a lot of people count Harlan County out, but that is a big mistake because of how much talent they have in this team.
You see head coach Chris Larkey out there with North Laurel giving them instructions, and also defensive coordinator Denny Farmer out there with Harlan County giving the defense their instructions, where North Laurel will have it 1st and 10 at the Black Bear 31-yard line while we have a minute here, Justin. Also, boy, we're on the eve of 2 huge games in the SEC tomorrow as Kentucky and Mississippi State under the lights at Kroger Field, 7 o'clock, and also Alabama and A&M. Great rivalry there in the SEC West.
Hey, love what Cash Daniel did. Paintsville native. Had some tickets brought down to Paintsville, sold for $10, trying to fill the stadium with UK fans.
Sweep. Toss sweep over to Grant Woods. No gain to the 31-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 10. Woods, the 5'7" sophomore for North Laurel.
I couldn't see what number that was from Harlan County. He's giving some high fives down there, but he was being driven back by the lead blocker, still had the ability to break the block and go make the tackle. That was superb.
That brings us to an end of quarter number 1. It's North Laurel 6, Harlan County nothing. But the Jaguars are driving yet again here on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Everyone to Harlan County, where the North Laurel Jaguars lead it on the road 6-0 to start quarter number 2. We welcome everyone watching on Heroes and Icons as well as WYMT.com. Eugene Farmer here alongside Justin Case. Justin, we expected a ground and pound battle between these two. Not the case in quarter number 1. A lot of balls in the air.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be kind of a quick quarter. We were just told by our producers and directors that it was a 45-minute first quarter as they start play here in the second, but a lot of timeouts, a lot of balls thrown through the air, like you said.
Sizemore, plenty of protection, trying to get outside the pocket, and does. Going to heave it right side. It's going to be caught. Brody Brinks down, breaks a tackle at the 10, still fighting down around the Harlan County 2-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Jaguars.
Wow, when you think Dalton Sizemore is down and out, he has pressure in his face. I think once again it was Jordan Steele in his face. You know, give the receivers credit, too, because for Brody Brinks, he can see that it's a broken play. He can see his quarterback is in trouble. He's just trying to find any soft spot anywhere.
Finding the opening, being patient. Sizemore gives him enough time to get open, finds him, huge first down, sets North Laurel up for possibly their second score of the night.
I mean, I think Sizemore was actually in the process of being brought down by Steele and still threw a strike downfield.
Power I behind Sizemore. Hutton Shepard straight ahead. He's going to find his way down around the 2. That's going to be all. Hutton Shepard, we hadn't heard much from him tonight, but he's their primary ball carrier. 55 carries on the year for 341 yards and 7 touchdowns to go with, get this, 8 two-point conversions on the year.
Wow.
They'll officially call it no gain. It's second down and goal for the Jaguars. Knocking on the door at the Harlan County 3-yard line. Power I behind Sizemore. Brinks is going to be the wide out to the left. That's the far side of the field. Sizemore straight ahead. Not much there. Ball's loose. Recovered by North Laurel down around the 1-yard line. Heads up play by Dalton Sizemore. That ball was loose for a long time.
Yeah, but that was actually about the only way they could get yards rushing the ball against Harlan County. The ball popped out in the backfield. It was going to be a tackle for a loss or maybe no gain, but Sizemore picked it up, moved it another yard upfield. But again, Harlan County standing strong. Could it be a goal line stand here from this defense that is looking better and better every week?
Power I behind Sizemore. Brinks the wide out to the right. That's the near side of the field. Shepard, the last man back. They're going to lead it with him running right, and he's going to get bottled up and drop for a loss.
Wow, you could see the pressure. You could see the linebackers creeping up, creeping. They snapped the ball, and they were in the backfield in a hurry. You could see.
All over that one was Josh Turner, the 5'11" sophomore linebacker. Gets him for a loss of 3. It's 4th and goal, Justin.
I mean, Shepard tried to bounce outside, but, I mean, there was just nowhere to bounce. You had pressure in your face in the backfield right after the handoff. I mean, this Black Bear defense has been impressive.
Turner, the sophomore linebacker, 13 tackles on the year, 8 solo, 2 tackles for a loss. Huge 4th down coming for the Jaguars. Power I behind Sizemore. He's going to roll left, looking for Brinks, and he's got him. Touchdown, North Laurel. Once again, Dalton Sizemore through the air to Brody Brinks to reach pay dirt, and North Laurel leads it 12-0.
And unfortunately, a little bit of scuffle happening in the end zone. Miscommunication there. I believe the coverage that time was from Flannery. But after a great stand on the first few downs, they give it up in the passing game. So far, North Laurel's success has really come through the air.
Yes. And I think anybody prepping for North Laurel, including this Harlan County team, was preparing mostly for the run, and North Laurel has hurt them with the pass. And we are going to have a timeout taken by Harlan County. That's their second timeout here of the first half. I think Coach Eddie Creech realizes that even though it's early, this is a big moment in the game, Justin, as North Laurel tries to extend their lead to 14.
You know, we've already seen more timeouts in the first half of this game than I think I've seen in any game so far in even like the last couple of years that I've been calling games. But anyways, you said it. This is a big game. This is a big moment. Any point moving forward, they don't want to give it up. And if you can maybe stop a 2-point conversion all of a sudden, then with 2 scores of your own, then you can retake the lead. There's the band there on the field. A ton of fans here for a big home game is Harlan County.
District opener for both teams in Class 5A District 8. Everybody trying to get a leg up on the standings, as this one will definitely have postseason implications. So here come the Jaguars to go for 2. 9:28 to play here in the second quarter. They'll come with a power I behind Dalton Sizemore. Last man through, Connor Robinson. They're going to give it to him straight ahead. He fights. Does he get in? The 2-point conversion is good, and North Laurel leads it 14-0, Justin.
He got hit in the backfield. He got hit again at the line, and then he got hit again at the goal line. Just kept his feet moving that time to make it a 14-point game. But both these teams have some tough games coming up.
Justin, how much has this North Laurel team improved since game 1 against South Laurel?
It's night and day.
Yeah.
I don't even know what would happen if that game happened again, North Laurel and South Laurel. If we watch that game again, it could be a different outcome because they were kind of tripping over themselves, couldn't really get anything going, running or passing the ball. I mean, who knew we were going to see this from Sizemore? And luckily for North Laurel, he is a junior. I mean, their problem last season to this season was just losing so many starters. And now you have Sizemore, who's playing really well. You're going to have him for another year after this. But both of these teams have a lot of young guys out there, including Harlan County. You see them huddled up there. Both these teams are only going to get better this season and next season. These could be two really dominant teams next year.
Compared to what we have seen in prior contests with these two, this could be considered an air raid here tonight, Justin.
Yeah, it is surprising. And also, you know, Harlan County, they have had some success through the air. They've had success when they've run the play action. They fake the handoff. Wilson does a nice job kind of hiding the ball almost in the backfield and then just looks downfield and throws a bomb.
Dalton Sizemore has it teed up on the right side, right hash of his own 40-yard line. As he'll get the official signal and now move on the football. Squib kick. Harlan County gets that one nicely at their own 49-yard line.
What a great job fielding that one. That gives him some good field position.
Yeah, great recovery there. I believe that was Hunter Blevins, the 5'10 sophomore linebacker. Recovers it at their own 49-yard line, and Harlan County has great field position for the first time tonight.
Yeah, best starting position so far, I believe, for them. But still, about 9.5 minutes remaining in the half. If you take this to the half as a one-score game, you can figure some things out in the passing game because really that's been their Achilles heel is playing pass defense. But now they send out two receivers. Could they start to open up the passing game?
Wilson under center, one wide out each way. Double wing sets, toss sweep, right side. Matt Brown, a lot of speed as he hits the hole hard to the North Laurel 47-yard line. Going to be a pickup of 4. Matt Brown on the carry there, the 5'4 sophomore running back.
And he really had to hit it hard to pick up a few yards because you had a few guys. You got some good penetration on the outside. Creech Cole, North Laurel, one of those guys who made it back there, made an early hit on him, but nice run, able to pick up a nice chunk even after taking contact.
DeMarco Hopkins now, the last man back with one wide out each way. Man comes in motion. They'll toss sweep it to Bynum, moving left, trying to get outside, and does. Across the 40, out of bounds. Late flag flies from the umpire. That's typically in the area of holding. We'll see.
And that was away from the play. That's going to be tough if that is a hold call because that was a nice run by Bynum. So much speed. If you let him get to the outside, it's tough to take him down. It's actually tough to catch up with him, but yeah, this one's coming back. Looked like it's going to be a hold, and unfortunately that was away from the play. Kind of an irrelevant hold.
It's a spot foul thrown at about the 40-yard line. So we get the official signal from head referee Tim Kelly. They march it back to midfield, so it's going to be 2nd down and 9 for the Black Bears. As Jacob Wilson gets the play into the hole. You see Eddie Creech there. Call much to his chagrin yet again. As Wilson goes under center, double wing sets. Hopkins behind it, Wilson with one wide out each way. Man comes in motion. Toss sweep to Brown again. Gets a good block to the outside. Gets it across the 45, across the 40, and look out. Across the 30, all the way down to the 20-yard line. It's 1st and 10, Harlan County. Dalton Sizemore on the tackle.
What a great run that time from Brown. Brown able to kind of use some patience there. He waited for the blocks to develop. He kind of held up a little bit, but once he saw the blocks, he fired forward. Almost was able to spin out of the tackle. I think it was Sizemore taking him down there at the end. A nice job from Brown. Check it out here on the Harlan County Tourism replay. See, he'll find the outside, waits for the blocks. Nice turn up field, waits for his block there. Nice, throws him off. I didn't even see that. He kind of threw him off of him. And then look at this, able to almost spin forward.
This time it's going to be a loss. John Allen on the play as he bottled up. I think that was Bynum that time on the carry. On another toss sweep, gets it back at the 23-yard line for a loss of 3. It's going to be second down and 13 for the Black Bears.
Yeah, you've got some great runners if you're Harlan County. You can play some solid defense, but you got to get a score here. North Laurel doesn't take a lot of time off the clock on their drives now that they're kind of leaning more toward the pass.
Wilson under center, double wing set. Hopkins sit back behind him with one wide out each way. 4-man front for North Laurel. Man comes in motion. They trap it to Bynum across the 20 to about the 19-yard line. That's going to be all. It'll be a pickup of 4 and bring up third down and 9.
I think you might be in 4-down territory here if you are the Black Bears. If you can pick up a nice chunk here. Ooh, that's not good. That's their quarterback, Dalton Sizemore, who is down. Looks like he's going to come off the field.
Sizemore will shake it up on the play. He'll walk off on his own power.
He's walking slowly. You know, his legs are the reason why he's able to scramble and wait for guys to get open downfield. If something's up with his legs now, that could, you know, really hinder the offense of the Jaguars.
Third down and 9 for Harlan County at the North Laurel 19-yard line. Clock runs 6:45 and counting here in the first half. Harlan County knocking on the door in the red zone for the first time tonight.
Yeah, at least got to get 4 or 5 here if you're going to go for it.
Wing T said, man comes in motion. Wilson goes back to pass, rolls out to the right. Man wide open is caught as Bynum at the 10. Fights to the 5, and that's going to be all. It's going to be first and goal, Harlan County. Where do they mark him out at? At around the 4-yard line. That's Patrick Bynum. 6 catches, 78 yards on the year.
Bynum has been so huge in the run game and pass game, and I think Creech is now starting to rely on the arm of Wilson. I mean, that's how they're able to get a lot of success. Both teams struggling a little bit on pass defense. But what a great throw and a great move by Bynum. Turning upfield, he's able to get that contact and just keep going.
First and goal, Black Bears at the North Laurel 4-yard line. Wilson brings the play into the huddle. Harlan County's going to break it in that same wing T set with 2 tight ends. Hopkins is going to be the setback behind Wilson. They toss, sweep it to Bynum, gets outside, and this time he's going to go in for the Harlan County touchdown, but a flag flies late.
You saw him throw up his hands in the air. I think that was, is that 52 down there? Yeah, you could see it. North Laurel offensive lineman right on the end was trying to escape, but he was trying to break the block to go make the tackle, but he was being held pretty clearly. Check it out, Harlan County Tourism replay. So great play design, tossing it to Bynum. Bynum gets out there, escapes the block, escapes the tackle. Can't quite see it, but
he went in for the touchdown, but the penalty is going to be on Harlan County, negating the touchdown. Still waiting the official signal from head referee Tim Kelly.
It looked like a hold on about the 1. Should go back to about the 11 or 12.
It's going to be first down and goal for Harlan County. They'll march it back to the 12-yard line.
And you can hear some boos there from some fans that are upset. I think that sideline warning was against head coach Creech. He was pretty upset about the holding call.
First and goal for Harlan County at the North Laurel 12. Wing T formation again for Wilson. 1 wide out each way. Trap it straight ahead on a dive play to DeMarco Hopkins, the 6-foot sophomore running back. Takes it inside the 10 down to about the 8-yard line. Gain of 3 and brings up second down and goal. Halfway through the second quarter of play.
looks like some miscommunication there. Trying to make some last-second substitutions here, but they sent some big guys out there.
Play
Could
clock
be a run.
down to 2. And Harlan County will be forced to take their final timeout here of the first half on 2nd down and goal. We're going to take it with them. 14-0, North Laurel leads it when we return to Coal Miners Memorial Stadium here on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. A little over halfway through quarter number 2 here at Harlan County High School as the North Laurel Jaguars lead it on the road 14-0 over the host Black Bears here on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Eugene Farmer here alongside Justin Case. 2nd and goal for Harlan County at the North Laurel 8. They're going to trap or blast straight up the middle again. I believe it's going to be Hopkins again. He takes it inside the 5. Down to around the 3-yard line, and will bring up 3rd and goal.
Well, you still have 2 more plays here, and they are going to use all 4. Nice play design that time, really trying to catch the defense off guard, off balance. Nice, very, very quick handoff that time.
3rd down and goal for the Black Bears at the North Laurel 3. Wilson under center. Wing T formation. 1 wide out to the left. North Laurel 4-man front with 4 linebackers. They trap it again with Hopkins, and the North Laurel defense stands tall, and it's going to bring up 4th down. No gain to the 3-yard line.
That time they were ready for it. That's hard to prepare for. That quick handoff, he just hits the hole so quickly.
Huge play in this ball game right here on 4th down.
But you know what I've noticed, though, when they run that play, because they have 2 backs, they have 2 options in the backfield. They're giving it to the first back, who then hits the hole very quickly. Hey, if you have the same play, but you give it to the second back who bounces outside, maybe you catch North Laurel snoozing in the linebacker level.
Wing T set, 1 wide out left. Man comes in motion. Toss sweep to Brown, trying to get outside. Cuts it up and dives. Waiting for the signal. Touchdown, Harlan County. Late signal there, but Brown finds pay dirt as Harlan County cuts the lead to 8, 14-6.
What a huge play here. Harlan County Tourism replay. He gets hit right there first. 2 guys crush him. And I mean, he may have just barely broken that plane, but he was not going to be denied on that one. Huge 4th down play that really, I mean, that turned this game all the way around. Could you imagine if they got down to the 3 and did not score?
Right.
I mean, that would have been a completely different feel to the game, but all of a sudden, Harlan County back in this one, going for 2.
They're going to go for 2 here. Wing T sets. Wilson looks, rolls out to the right. Pass is going to be intercepted by Sizemore, so the 2-point conversion is no good. 4:08 to play here in the first half, 14-6. North Laurel retains an 8-point lead, and that could be huge later on, Justin.
Yeah, it could be. But both teams are very capable of going for two and making it. Surprising, though, you think about where North Laurel was on the last 2-point conversion they had. They threw it. All of a sudden, Harlan County, they're throwing it. They're saying if we need the yards, if we need short distance yards, when they got the score, they had a toss play that time on 2-point conversion, passed it. I think both these teams are looking to either run it outside of the tackle box or pass it downfield. Both teams playing phenomenal defense in the middle. These fans are happy about the way their offense is now showing up tonight, as well as their defense. I mean, both defenses are superb blocking and stopping the run. That's one thing I've been most impressed by so far.
14-6. North Laurel leads it here on the road. Coming off the Matt Brown 3-yard touchdown from Harlan County as a huge 4th down play. If Harlan County doesn't get that, Justin, do they stay in this ball game?
I mean, maybe because their defense is so good and you would have pinned North Laurel back so deep, there's a chance they could have either stopped them there, maybe gotten some great field position for, a last possession drive. But again, this 4 minutes here, North Laurel doesn't take a lot of time off the clock during their drives because they pass it so much, because their guys get out of bounds. I mean, they do a good job of really, minimizing how long their drives take.
4:09 to play in the first half. The Jaguars lead it 14-6 as Bynum squib kick. North Laurel recovers at about the 31-yard line. Storm Gambrell fights his way across the 40 to about the 42, maybe the 43-yard line. 10-yard return by Storm Gambrell. He's been a very integral part of the North Laurel attack tonight.
He has been, especially now that they're opening it up in the pass game. But I think we might see a slightly different Jaguar offense here. They're looking at the clock. They're saying, okay, 4 minutes. All of a sudden, Harlan County has some momentum here. Let's not give them the ball back. So I think you might see a few more runs in this drive than we've seen earlier on from the Jaguars. I think they want this to be the final drive, the final time that their offense is on the field this quarter for this half.
Sizemore will be in the shotgun set. He sends trips right, one wide out to the left is Hauser. Hauser comes in motion, and they'll sweep it to him. Cuts it up in the heart of the Harlan County defense across the 42 to about the 43. Going to be a 1-yard gain. Prior to the snap, Hauser was completely uncovered from his wide out left position. Sizemore saw it a little too late. Hauser came in motion. 1-yard gain, 2nd down and 9.
You saw some Black Bears scrambling on the field. They saw it. They recognized it. Give them credit for trying to make sure they're buttoned up pre-snap. Yeah, they missed a big opportunity there. But right, I mean, just watching the runs, I mean, I can't remember that many big runs that have been successful trying to go inside the tackles or at least in the tackle box somewhere. I mean, you really have to toss it out or get a quick pass to the outside to get some yards in this one.
2nd down and 9. Trips left. One wide out to the right for Sizemore. He's got one setback to his left. Sizemore looks to pass. Out to the right. Going to be caught on the outside and wrestled out of bounds. Great pass to Gavin Hurst. The 5'8 freshman takes it for a 1st down into Harlan County territory at the 46-yard line. I've been super impressed with Dalton Sizemore tonight, and he's got some playmakers to the outside like Brody Brinks and Gavin Hurst.
Yeah, when they caught the ball, I mean, he was around the 50 or so, maybe even just still inside their territory, but he made a great move.
Yeah, yards after catch.
Yes. Even after yes, exact yards after contact as well. Still was able to turn and burn upfield.
Trips left, one wide out to the right for Sizemore. He's got one step back to his right. He's going to lead it straight ahead. Plenty of running room that time. All the way down to the 40-yard line. That time, that's our man Connor Robinson again. The 5'7 sophomore takes it to about the 40 for a gain of 6 and bring up 2nd down and 4. And boy, this North Laurel offense looks more and more comfortable on each offensive possession.
And just finding the balance. I mean, when you have the success passing the ball, then all of a sudden, you just have a different mindset on defense. But look how many players they have back now. They're expecting to pass on a lot of these plays.
Straight ahead, they give it to Robinson. Boy, just fights his way, keeps those legs churning hard across the 40-yard line to the 39. We'll call it a pickup of 2. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3.
And what's been really impressive watching the defense is if you'll notice on any given play, Harlan County's defense, they're playing man-to-man on the outside. They have a strong safety over the top giving help, but they'll also put another safety over the side where more receivers are, where they're heavy with the receivers. So that's fewer defensive linemen. That's fewer linebackers on any given play, and they have to prepare for the pass.
Shotgun said, snap, over Sizemore's head. He retreats, heaves it down the right side. It's going to be picked off at the 22-yard line. Sizemore was in trouble, heaved it downfield, and we've got an interception for Harlan County. I believe that was Patrick Bynum.
Harlan County Tourism replay. I mean, give him credit for getting this ball and escaping the pocket. I thought he was just going to throw it away, but still has the wherewithal to throw it down the field. Look at that spiral to his guy. There's Bynum. Bynum's right there, able to get the big interception. All of a sudden, when it looked like maybe North Laurel could squeeze in another score right before the end of the half, this is not what they wanted to do. Maybe not enough time for them to go all the way down the field, although they have had some big plays from Bynum and other guys on their squad. They could, but a minute and a half to go, about 75 yards. That's tough for this Black Bear squad.
1st and 10 Harlan County. Screen pass going to be caught for short yardage across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. It's going to be, they say, incomplete. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 at the 23-yard line with 1:26 to play.
Yeah, they let the clock run there because I think they thought it was a completion.
Sure.
Burned off an extra 5 seconds, but I doubt they're going to add that back on.
2nd down and 10 for the Black Bears. 4-man front for North Laurel, with 4 linebackers. As Wilson comes, 1 wide out each way. Wing T set. Trailing 14-6. Hopkins straight up the middle. Keeps it across the 25, maybe to the 26-yard line. We'll call it a pickup of 3, and it'll bring up 2nd down and 7.
Different strategies on defense from what I've seen. Harlan County, their defensive backs play very, very close to the line. North Laurel's defensive backs are given about 10 to 15 yards on any given play. They want to keep everything in front of them. I don't blame them. That's a very good conservative strategy on defense. But right now, if I'm Harlan County, I'm seeing how much space the defense has given us in the passing game. I'm opening it up. I'm going to give Wilson the okay to throw it downfield.
Wing T set for Wilson. Toss sweep. Bynum, plenty of room. Cuts it up at the 25, trying to get outside. Great play coming off the block by Hutton Shepard that time. From North Laurel, 15 tackles on the year, 2 solo, 1 fumble recovery. Got a late flag coming in over on the North Laurel sideline. 34 seconds to play. He would have been well short of the 1st down. To bring up 4th down and around 7.
May have been something late there, maybe a late hit after he was already out of bounds. But 34 seconds, even if you got 15 yards here, you're still pretty far away. I mean, you'd have to be looking for the end zone on this one or the next one. Ooh, this one's going to go against Harlan County. I didn't expect that. Still could have been a late hit. You haven't heard the call yet.
Personal foul was the call.
But still, okay, you're going to go to halftime, and this is a 1-score game.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, that's a big positive for Harlan County, who still, you know, this season is still early. This is only the 5th game for the Black Bears of this season. Still trying to find their rhythm. So far, I think they're starting to come into that a little bit.
Yeah, half the distance to the goal. It'll be 4th down.
Oh, because it's a dead ball
penalty. Yeah, because it's a dead ball penalty.
Okay, now all of a sudden it's a different story. I think North Laurel has a – are they out of timeouts?
Yeah, everybody's out of
timeout, so not a whole lot you can do here. But if you're Harlan County, maybe you want to bunt it as high as possible. Try to get a big stop here, but you got to be careful. There's still 30 seconds on the clock. If something misses here, North Laurel can put it in the end zone or get some points.
Bynum to punt, standing in his own end zone. Low snap. He corrals it. Kick is a good one.
And nobody back deep for North Laurel. That's going to do it for this half, likely.
Inside the 40, all the way down to the 37-yard line. Terrific punt by Patrick Bynum.
A little bit of a miscue with the clock operator. They let some time run off. Okay, they actually didn't start the clock on that punt play, but then they let about 10 seconds run off, so just under, says 24.9 seconds remaining. And I think you're content. If you're both teams, you want to get to the half, get to halftime, go talk about what you can do better.
14-6, North Laurel leads it. They'll have the ball at their own 37-yard line. So they take the clock down to 23 seconds. And that's where North Laurel will have it, first down and 10.
And you could see a conservative run here, but then again, hey, it's Chris Larkey we're talking about.
Sizemore.
Yeah, looks like they're going to take a knee here.
Under center. And he takes a knee. And that'll bring us to an end of half number one. North Laurel on the road. They lead it here over Harlan County 14-6 as we open up Class 5A District 8 play. We've got a good one for you. One-score ball game heading into the half. We'll be back on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week.
And welcome back to the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Justin Case here alongside Eugene Frazier, and what a great first half of play. And, you know, I'll be honest. I'm going to say right now I was a little bit worried when North Laurel scored so quickly. We've had a few games so far this season where things have gotten out of hand for teams early, and I was worried because all of a sudden a 75-yard bomb downfield looked like North Laurel could have been on their way to open this one up wide open, but I think it was Harlan County's defense that kept them in this one, and you had a lot of guys flying around the field. I think, you know, you saw Jordan Steele in the backfield a bunch of times, putting a ton of pressure on Sizemore. Sizemore a few times had to get rid of it early. Right now it's a one-score game, 14-6. Harlan County had a great drive at the end of the first half in the second quarter. On fourth down with 3 yards to go, they find the end zone, and, man, they had a lot of fighting hard on that play. They weren't able to get the two-point conversion, but still, one-score game.
Yeah, you know, Justin, this half has been full of surprises. I never expected the ball to be in the air so much. especially from both teams. You got predominant run-heavy schools here in North Laurel and Harlan County. And also, it's just amazing the growth of both teams from
in
the
the
first
season.
time we've seen them.
Yes.
Harlan County against Knox Central
Night
and
and
North
day.
Laurel against South Laurel.
Night and day, absolutely. Yeah, it has been surprising, but so far, I mean, if you had to give a player of the half award, I mean, I think obviously for North Laurel, you're looking at Sizemore because
his passing was precise and spot on.
But the pressure he dealt with in the backfield, I mean, there aren't just some pushovers. There are some massive defensive linemen flying after you. He had that pick. He had a bad pick, but, of course, the 75-yard bomb in the first quarter. He had a 2-point conversion pass play. I mean, he was dissecting the pass defense from Harlan County.
Well, it was hitting Brinks on the screenplay to keep a drive alive. It was the deep pass to Gambrell. It was making the plays with his legs when he scrambled out of trouble for first downs. Dalton Sizemore, the first half, was as complete as it could have been.
And he had help, like you said. Those receivers saw that
Yes.
he was in trouble and did what they could to find any soft spot in the defense.
Brody Brinks, Gavin Hurst, Quentin Hauser, a ton of
And Storm Gambrell, too.
yeah, speed and skill on the outside was key to Sizemore's first half as well.
And I think if you're Harlan County, your player of the half so far, probably Wilson, I'd say, did just, one thing I was most impressed by, which they didn't go back to, because in the first quarter, he would fake the handoff and he would kind of walk slowly, casually, like I don't have it, turn around and blast it downfield. His ability to run, the quarterback keepers have worked at times. I mean, right now Wilson has had a major impact in this game.
Well, Wilson has been a good game manager for Eddie Creech and the Black Bears. He hadn't turned the ball over. Wilson has got the ball where it needed to be. He's took some shots downfield. Some of them were unsuccessful. It's going to be interesting to me in the second half. When the game is on the line, do these two coaches go back to their MO on the ground, or do they continue to let it fly when it's all on the line?
I feel like second half what we're going to see is both teams, I don't want to say abandoned, but as close to abandoned as you can get. This game is massive. I mean, how many games can you ever remember watching where both teams have used all 3 timeouts in the first half? I can't remember a game ever watching that both teams used that, but still a lot more game to be played, and we're going to take a timeout here. We'll be right back with more halftime. The band's setting up. Can't wait to see that.
And welcome back, everyone. We're at halftime here at Harlan County High School as the North Laurel Jaguars lead it here on the road 14-6. Eugene Farmer here alongside Justin Case and enjoying the Harlan County band with this halftime performance.
Okay, those look like little microchips to me, those things on the big blackboards behind them. What are those supposed to be?
Other than props, I can't tell you, Justin.
Okay, because I was wondering, are they going to be hitting them and drumming on them, or wasn't quite sure, but a nice look at that setup with the band. I mean, that's like a professional setup right there. Just brought everything out in the opening minutes of the halftime, but kind of like how they're all in unit and working in unison here. The band and the what do you call them with the twirlers? I know there's a more professional name than that.
Color guard.
Color guard? Okay,
Yes.
I probably just sounded so dumb right there. I apologize for that. The color guard. They do a great job down there kind of working with the band. But, yeah, I can't wait to see what we see in the second half just because I think we're going to see the best of Wilson and the best of Sizemore. And
will they get those opportunities, or, again, we're going back to what we talked about last segment, will both coaches abandon the pass?
I don't think so. I think the bigger question is who is more prepared with your pass defense moving forward? What adjustments can you make? Because Harlan County played right up against the line. We're gonna be toe-to-toe with you from the very first step, whereas North Laurel, they're like, okay, we're going to keep everything in front of us. You're going to pass it 5 yards, 10 yards. Okay, we'll be there to make the tackle right away because you're in front of us. And they're given a lot of space. North Laurel's given 10, 15 yards with their defensive backs every time. Do we see that change? I think the biggest question, who wins this game, is who plays the better pass defense in the second half.
Well, and two, I think this game is going to come down to there's going to be some big plays in the second half. Who can stay turnover free? Who can play penalty free? Penalties really hurt Harlan County in the first half. And who executes their offensive game plan is going to come out of here victorious tonight and start out 1-0 in district play.
Yeah, Harlan County able to overcome some of their penalties. Remember, they had one when they had a touchdown, called back on a holding call. They were able to still get it done. But, yeah, you're right. Penalties, can you keep those to a minimum in the second half?
We're going to continue to talk about the second half of this one. Also, we're going to look ahead to tomorrow in college football. Big day coming up at Kroger Field with the number 14 team in the country, the Bulldogs of Mississippi State, come to town with Nick Fitzgerald at the helm. And that and more when we return on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. It's 14-6 at the half. North Laurel leads Harlan County here at Harlan County High School. Eugene Farmer alongside Justin Case. We welcome those of you watching on Heroes and Icons on television as well as streaming live on WYMT.com.
And the app.
Yeah, and the app as well. Justin, surprised at all by the first half result?
I really didn't know what to expect, to be honest, because we knew that both these teams were very young at the beginning of the season. Both these teams trying to still find their identity. Both teams, I think if you ask both head coaches, they'd be surprised that their strength at this point in the season is through the air.
For me, the biggest first half surprise was the growth of the North Laurel offense, particularly the composure and the comfortability of Dalton Sizemore.
And it starts with the line. We haven't even really mentioned the offensive line, but they've been buying him so much time in the backfield. But it's also, when there's a broken play and he does get pressure, Sizemore able to escape, able to roll out. And we've seen, that is elite talent if you're able to be at a full sprint, even being dragged down by a guy, throwing it downfield. Sizemore is still accurate even when he's being brought down.
But I remember at some point during the South Laurel North Laurel contest, which was our first one of the year, you and I talked, and we was like, as we looked out there, we're like, man, this is not the North Laurel team of last year. They're very young. In just 4 weeks, we've seen this team grow up before our eyes.
Yeah, it is surprising. As you can see, the teams just came back out onto the field. Not much time left before the second half starts. But yeah, it just goes to show you. It's night and day, but it's also coaching.
Sure.
I think it's a wake-up call if you're head coach Chris Larkey moving forward. Get some of those younger guys reps early, because you saw in the season. Every season opener is going to be a little bit sloppy, but all those guys were getting a lot of starts for the first times in their careers. Just about every guy on the team. So both teams are young. Both teams have a nice mix of sophomores, juniors, some seniors. So I think both these teams have a very bright future.
Now we turn our attention to tomorrow night at Kroger Field in Lexington, Kentucky, as the number 14 Mississippi State Bulldogs invade Lexington. Kentucky football for years looking for respectability, looking for national prominence. Winning a game like this at home, starting out 4-0 and 2-0 in the conference, could give it to you. The Cats, 10-point underdogs to the number 14 Bulldogs.
It's frustrating. Any sports show you watch, like the college football pregame shows, you listen to like some of the national radio shows, and they never ever mention Kentucky. They talk about the SEC, or like we saw some great matchups here. Kentucky's never mentioned, and I think this team has felt that disrespect for so long. This team is just wanting to be in the national spotlight. Hey, we're here. We're ready to go, and I think this game is a big statement game. If they can win this, all of a sudden, those national shows, those talk shows, those sports radio, they can't not talk about the Wildcats.
Mississippi State, known for one of the best offensive and defensive lines in the country. The question is, can Benny Snell, A.J. Rose, Terry Wilson, can they run on this deep and talented Mississippi State defensive front?
Hey, they opened up the passing game in their win against Florida, and they were phenomenal, and you saw them escape pressure. I don't know. This is like they're a very unpredictable team. They're so much fun to watch because you don't know what they're going to do.
How much of the outcome is going to fall at the hands of Terry Wilson's arm?
I think what determines the win or loss tomorrow is actually Kentucky's defense, because right now they have actually gotten good pressure in the backfield. We saw Cash Daniel pressure the quarterback. He's just done a phenomenal job making tackles in open space. Their defense right now, I think, is the most surprising part.
Felipe Franks from Florida is good, but this is going to be Kentucky's biggest test with Nick Fitzgerald.
It is. But I think, if you can keep it on the ground with Snell, I think if you can pick up yards that way, I think if you can play solid defense and trust the arm of your quarterback, if you can open up the passing game, all of a sudden, they're just so unpredictable. I think it's the most unpredictable offense Kentucky's had in a long time.
7 o'clock, ESPN2, Kentucky at number 14, Mississippi State comes to you tomorrow night. When we return here to Harlan County High School, second half action of Harlan County and North Laurel at the break. The Jaguars lead it on the road 14-6 when we return on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. We are back here at Harlan County High School in the foothills of Harlan, Kentucky, as the host Black Bears start district play trailing the North Laurel Jaguars 14-6. Boy, Chris Larkey has to love how that first half went.
Yeah, these fans are hyped. We just saw them come together, throw their hands up into the air. They're running off to the sideline. The fans got a few halftime snacks. Man, some of those dishes look good. Kind of getting hungry myself, but yeah, this fan base is hungry for this win tonight. Would be their first win of the season. They don't play like they're a team looking for their first win right now. The fans have really helped them get into this game too.
In Harlan County, he's played one of the toughest schedules in the mountains with Ashland, Hazard, Wayne County, Knox Central. All solid football programs, many in the Mountain Top 10.
And a lot of those games on the road, too. Man, they had some tough tests. I didn't even really think about that, but
North Laurel comes in 3-2 on the year. Harlan County comes in 0-4, but both desperately seeking district win number 1 here at home this evening.
You know what it kind of reminds me of? I've always wondered, and I've always asked this question. You watch an NFL game, and you see a regular season team play one way, but when they get to the playoffs, you see them play up to that moment, up to that level. And you're like, well, if you had that the whole season, why didn't you just do that? But all of a sudden, these teams have kind of figured out where they are, and you're seeing them jump from that, it's almost like a regular season mode, to a playoff mode just because of how important this game is. Both these teams look better tonight than I think they've looked all season.
Yeah, and somebody's going to get a huge jump start here in district play with a win. Is it going to be Harlan County holding serve at home? Is it going to be North Laurel stealing one on the road? Dalton Sizemore tees it up on the right hash of his own 40. Squib kick again. Harlan County is going to field it. Ball still loose at about the 30-yard line. I believe the Black Bears have it.
I don't know.
We shall see, yeah. Sizemore was there.
Two players went for the ball, kind of collided, let the ball fall to the ground right as the Jaguars were getting there. Nice kick.
Dalton Johnson for Harlan County, the 5'10 senior, falls on it at his own 30 to give the Black Bears the first offensive possession here of the second half.
Squib kick goes deep, pins him at the 30.
Yeah.
I mean, that's actually a nice job. Almost got the ball back. I mean, I can see why a lot of teams do that.
Wing T formation, one wide out each way for Wilson. Man comes in motion. They give it to Hopkins straight up the middle. Plenty of room. Across the 35 to the 36, maybe the 37-yard line. Going to be a pickup of 7 for DeMarco Hopkins. The 6', 239-pound sophomore takes it for a pickup of 7, and it'll be second down and 3. One of the more positive gains on the ground that we've seen from the Black Bears tonight.
Yeah, and those quick handoffs to Hopkins actually were pretty successful in the first half. Remember when they were trying to move towards their first score of the half? They used Hopkins on those quick gives early.
One wide out each way for Wilson again. This time he's going to give it to Hopkins straight ahead again. Fights his way to around the 40. I believe he's going to be just short of the first down.
Yeah, about an inch or two.
It's going to be really close here on third down and shorts.
Are those nachos? Wow, those
we've
look
seen
good.
Hopkins emerge here in the second half as the primary ball carrier. We haven't seen that much thus far this season.
Kind of the opposite of what I expected. I mean, Hopkins getting a healthy dose of carries here early on in the second half. Kind of thought they might try to open up the passing game a little bit more.
Two wing backs and one set back behind Wilson again. This time he gives it to Hopkins straight up the middle. He'll pick up the first down across the 40.
Well, one said he got to the 40. The other said he got to the 41. They're going to say
first down.
Forward progress is right at the 40. They needed about a foot or so, and he just barely got that, according to the referees.
First and 10 Black Bears. A minute and a half into this third quarter. Harlan County trailing by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here at home to North Laurel in the Class 5A District 8 opener. Wilson under center. Wing T set with one wide out each way. Hopkins again, straight ahead. barrels his way across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Another pickup of 6. It'll bring up 2nd down and 4.
That was a strong run that time.
Harlan County going with a little bit of a bruiser look as Hopkins just runs shoulder pads over knees. You love to see that as a head coach, and keeps the wheels churning after initial contact.
But that handoff is in within 1 second of the quarterback getting the snap, Wilson getting the ball. I mean, he's already giving the ball to the back. And a lot of these runs, it's been Hopkins.
2nd down and 4. Bynum comes in motion, but it's going to be Hopkins again, finding his way ahead, close to midfield, but going to be just short of the 1st down at the 49 to bring up 3rd down and 1. As we questioned at halftime, will these coaches go back to their MO in the second half? Thus far, Eddie Creech has, as we've seen a steady dose of DeMarco Hopkins.
You know, the other thing, too, is in the first half, there weren't many sustained drives. I mean, yes, there were some scoring drives that went the length of the field, but a lot of them felt quick. There weren't many that chewed up a ton of clock. This one, already a few minutes off the clock, and they're only at the 50.
3rd and 1. Wilson under center. It's going to be Hopkins again, straight ahead, barrels his way into North Laurel territory down to the 45-yard line. Excuse me, that time it's going to be Josh Turner with the carry, the 5'11 sophomore running back. As we saw Turner's physicality playing linebacker on defense, but now getting some carries and picking up some 1st downs for the Black Bears.
But it's that quick handoff. Right
Yeah.
now, North Laurel, they're not doing what they did in the first half, crowding the box as much. I think they're still expecting some passing plays, so you can see those linebackers playing back a little bit, the defensive backs back a little bit as well.
This time it's going to be Hopkins again across the 40 to about the 39-yard line, and another pickup of 6 on 1st down to bring up 2nd down and 4. Justin, this has all the makings of a war in the trenches, exactly like both matchups were last season.
Harlan County saying, if you're not going to stop us running right up the gut each play, we're going to keep doing it until you crowd the box, which then all of a sudden opens up some nice deep plays in the passing game.
2nd down and 4 for the Black Bears in North Laurel territory down to the 39. Same formation for Wilson with 1 wide out each way. Give it to Hopkins again. This time he fights his way for maybe a gain of 1, and that's going to be all to about the 38-yard line. Pickup of 1. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
A few guys in there that time. It took 3 guys to take him down. Just saw John Allen, excuse me. I saw Jace Hacker in there as well.
Jace Hacker, the team's leading tackler, 42 tackles on the year, 9 solo, 1 fumble recovery.
But that time was the first time this entire drive North Laurel has gotten penetration.
1 wide out each way for Wilson under center. Bynum, toss sweep, left side, trying to get outside. Cuts it up at about the 36. Wrestled to the ground. It's going to be Hutton Shepard. Joined in there as well by Creech Cole, the 5'9 junior. 35 tackles on the year for him and 2 solo tackles. We've got a flag on the play.
Yeah, he was tackled short. The flag came in late. I wonder if it may have been a face mask.
I was thinking so as well, but we'll see from head referee Tim Kelly.
If that's the case, that's going to move them deep.
It's going to be a face mask on North Laurel. It will give Harlan County a 1st down.
15 yards and a free 1st down. Wow.
I believe they're going to say a 5-yard incidental face mask to march it up to about the 32-yard line and a 1st down for Harlan County. You know, this drive, Justin, already nearing or over the 5-minute mark here in the 3rd quarter. Exactly the recipe Eddie Creech needed for his Harlan County Black Bears to get back in this football game.
Yeah, good defense. All of a sudden keeping the ball away from the opposing offense, chewing up tons of clock in a drive that really hasn't been stopped by the Jaguars yet.
Wilson keeps it himself with flags that fly.
That could be offsides by the defense. I think the defensive end, I think, was that Hacker? I couldn't see, but I think this one's going to go against the Jaguars. Oh, false start. It was tough to tell because both guys went at the same time. I thought the Jaguars actually stepped across the line first, but that's not the way the referee saw it.
1st and 15 for Harlan County after the penalty backs them up to the 37-yard line. Clock continues to run. Nearly halfway through the third quarter already, and Harlan County has had possession the entire way.
It's amazing that they're only at the 37-yard line, and they've chewed up 6 minutes. That's crazy to me.
The true definition of a long, sustained drive. Wilson keeps it himself, rolling right across the 35, inside the 30, the 25, outside to the 15, down to about the 10-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for the Black Bears.
What a nice run, and Wilson is so good. You saw him have the option there. Harlan County fans are happy about this one. Harlan County Tourism replay. He has the option behind him. Look at that. You're going to see number 8, Matthew Brown, right behind him. He chooses not to pitch it here, which is actually a good call. Brown looks like he goes out to try to make a block, but wow, if it wasn't up to Brody Brinks there, that would have been a touchdown and possibly the equalizer for the Black Bears. And you know what happened was North Laurel got kind of in that repetitive mode. They were looking for that run up the middle. Nice play design by Creech.
Wilson under center. They trap it with Hopkins this time, fighting his way down to the 7-yard line. Going to be about a pickup of 2 and bring up 2nd down and goal from the 7 as the drive extends now to nearly 7 minutes.
Well, what's amazing is, I mean, they did the same play or nearly the same play for, 20 plays in a row?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you have a quarterback keeper bouncing to the outside. That's completely radical, completely different from anything they did. And it just caught them off guard. That's just a brilliant play call, a nice way to change things up on offense.
2nd and goal. Wing T set, 1 wide out each way. Wilson gives it to the last man through. Bynum, he fumbles it into the end zone, and it's going to be out of the back of the end zone. We're going to wait for the official signal. Bynum coughs it up right when he's fixing to extend the ball over the goal line, and this could be huge for North Laurel.
If you're head coach Eddie Creech, this is not a good feeling. Your team just put together
a touchback here on the Harlan County Tourism replay. They trap it on the counter trap to Bynum. He fights his way into the tries to leap his way into the end zone, lost the ball. It goes out of the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback for North Laurel. They'll get it on the turnover. 1st and 10 for the Jaguars. The biggest play of the game yet.
That North Laurel defensive push right there. I mean, there were 3 guys there, and I feel like Bynum didn't want to be denied. We're going to toss this one to break because we're going to have some more action coming up.
Back here at Harlan County, the biggest play of the game, Harlan County was going in for possibly an opportunity to cut the North Laurel lead to 2. They fumble in the back of the end zone. It goes out for a touchback, and North Laurel has it. Straight up the middle, they go with Connor Robinson, and he has room across the 25 to around the 27, maybe the 28-yard line. We'll call it a pickup of around 8. Second down and 2. I love the energy of Connor Robinson.
But Black Bear fans have to be sick to their stomach. I mean, you had Bynum at the goal line. You went over 7 minutes on the opening drive of the first half, get all the way to about the 1 foot line, and you fumble it through the end of the end zone. I mean, what a drive. At least they know that they're capable of that now.
Gut-wrenching for Harlan County. But for North Laurel, the biggest play of the night. Second down and 2. Sizemore under center. Trips left, one wide out to the right. Sizemore keeps it himself for the first down across the 30. Boy, I've loved his composure all night. 3-yard gain, first down, North Laurel.
Yeah, he's kept the ball himself a few times. They've actually had that QB sneak up the middle a few times that's been effective, kind of like what you see from Tom Brady in the
Prior to
Patriots.
this game, only 12 carries on the year for 22 yards. For Dalton Sizemore tonight. We've seen him much more effective both on the ground and through the air. Keep in mind, he had only thrown for 177 yards on the year. Coming into tonight, guess what? On the first possession, a 75-yard touchdown strike to Storm Gambrel. First and 10, Jaguars. Their own 31, Sizemore, 3-step drop, steps up, throws it deep for Brinks, and it's going to be caught at the 35-yard line. Trying to get outside, and he does, to the 15, wrestled down at the 10-yard line as the flag flies late.
What a play, and then I can't believe he's able to stop, see where the defense is, see where the hole is, completely shifts. Check this out. I can't believe this. What a beautiful drop back and a pass here. Throws it downfield. So he gets open enough to catch this. I didn't see what the flag was on, but look at him sidestep there. Waits for the block. Maybe a block in the back there. That's what it might be. Yep. Actually, North Laurel is backing up here. But what a beautiful play. Sizemore with the precision and just the patience from Brinks downfield once he gets the ball. This one I think is going to be a block in the back. As North Laurel.
If it was a block in the back, the catch would stand. This could be offensive pass interference. We'll see.
Oh, I didn't even see the hold.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Look back at the at the 25.
Yeah, yard line.
I never even saw that.
So it's going to be holding on North Laurel, which negates an excellent catch by Brody Brinks. Jaden Ward was on the coverage from Harlan County. Nonetheless, North Laurel's pushed all the way back to their 15-yard line where they will have it. First down. And it's going to be about 26 on the penalty. Under 3.5 to play here in the third quarter. Sizemore back to pass. Throws it deep across the middle again. And this one's going to be incomplete. But we have another flag that flies. Pass that time was intended for Isaiah Elmore, the 6-foot junior from North Laurel.
Yeah, he had two receivers very close to each other, which created kind of like a bunch in the middle. Both defensive backs. The defensive back and the safety, I think, got tripped up. Are they going to say this one's going back? They're going to say this one's against North Laurel, it looks like.
Penalty against North Laurel again.
It genuinely looked like they all got tripped up in the middle there, but referees maybe saw a little bit of a push. The receiver that time.
It'll march them all the way back inside the 20.
At this point, this is critical for your defense not to make any mistakes. No pass interference, nothing. No holding.
They mark it.
Essentially, you're going to have them at 1st and 30 or more, right? 30. Oh, wow, they're back to their own
all the
8.
way back at the 70-yard line. They have to get to the 41. It's going to be 1st down and 34, Justin.
That is insane.
So 1st and 34 for North Laurel, clinging to a 14-6 lead. Sizemore's going to be under center. One wide out to the right, and we are going to have a timeout taken, I believe, by Harlan County with 3:19 to play here in the third. It's their first timeout here of the second half. You know, Justin, it was in the first half, it was Harlan County who was plagued by penalties. In this second half, especially on this possession, it's been all North Laurel.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I saw the block in the back, and then the hold was pretty unfortunate for their offensive line. I mean, right now, this is a team that is just trying to get out of their own end zone, basically. I could see several pass plays in a row here, even if they're just quick pass plays. You know, they have those bunch formations to one side or the other. They'll set up 3 receivers. And what's dangerous is if you have a receiver that just kind of gets back behind the line of scrimmage a little bit after the snap, catches a pass, all of a sudden he has 2 blockers in front of him. It's 2-on-3, but the wide receivers for North Laurel have done a fantastic job of just kind of dancing around the tacklers downfield, finding seams, sneaking through a little bit.
Coming out of the timeout, it's going to be 1st and 34 for North Laurel after back-to-back penalties. As Dalton Sizemore leads the North Laurel offense back out onto the field. 3:19 to play here in the third quarter. 14-6. North Laurel leads it here in the opening game of Class 5A District 8 play. Sizemore under center. Traps it to Grant Woods, moving right, trying to get outside and does not. Gets across the 8, maybe to the 9-yard line, and that's going to be all. Woods, haven't called his name much tonight. 5'7", sophomore tailback, takes it for a gain of, we'll call it 2, and brings up 2nd down and 32.
Well, you were in a massive hole. I'm surprised they actually tried to run that play that time, but hey, if it would have worked, maybe Harlan County was expecting the pass, and maybe that's why North Laurel thinks they might be able to sneak a few yards in the running game, bouncing to the outside. But now only 1 receiver split out.
Wing T formation for Sizemore. 3-step drop. He's looking left, throwing across the middle for Brinks. It's going to be incomplete, and I believe we could have a penalty on Harlan County. Patrick Bynum trying to jump the pass.
If this is what I think it is, that is tough for Harlan County because you put them in a situation where it was nearly impossible to get out of it. Look at the drop. I think Bynum has a little bit of contact
right
here.
There.
Yep. And if that gives them an automatic 1st down, wow, you just dug North Laurel out of a massive hole. North Laurel now with an opportunity to put together a long drive. They've already chewed up a lot of time, only 2.5 minutes remaining in this one. Can't believe this is only the 2nd possession. First time North Laurel has had the ball in the 3rd quarter.
Third quarter, yes. We'll see.
It looks like this could be an automatic 1st. Looks like they're going back to the original line of scrimmage. Might march this one off, yep.
And let's get the signal from head of referee Tim Kelly.
Yeah, Harlan County's getting marched back. That is a tough break for the Black Bears. After they had a really tough break.
So the penalty does not give them an automatic 1st down and marches them up 15 yards from the original line of scrimmage. It should bring up around 2nd down and 17 if my math is correct.
I didn't know that that wasn't an automatic 1st down.
In college, yes. In pro, yes. In high school, no.
Okay. I learned something new today. But still, second down, and even though it's 17 for this North Laurel team that's finding their rhythm through the air, it's manageable.
2 wideouts each way for Sizemore. He rolls right, looking deep, right sideline. It's going to be caught at the 40-yard line by Brody Brinks.
He just laid out. I can't believe he caught that in a full-out dive, grabs it inches from hitting the ground.
Hello, U-Pike top plays on that one just in case. Oh, my.
I can't even believe he just got that. I think everybody out here is shocked. There is a flag out there, and they are going to march North Laurel back. Wow, another penalty against the Jaguars. Wow.
Wow, huge call going against the Jaguars there. Oh, my. It's going to march them. If it's a spot foul, it'll march them all the way back to around the 13-yard line. We'll see. .224 to play here in the third quarter. And it does. It marches them back to the 13-yard line, and we're back in the same situation again. It'll be second down and 28 for North Laurel. Trips left. One wide out to the right. One set back to the left is Connor Robinson. Sizemore calls for it. 3-step drop. Looking. Steps up in the pocket, and he's got plenty of running room. Across the 25 and then a wrestle to the ground before he gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
He got a massive amount of yards, now sets up a nice third down play.
Patrick Bynum with a great game tackle in open space. Here on the Hardin County Tourism replay, so it's a straight quarterback draw.
Everybody thought this was a pass play. Let the defensive line get back there, open up a nice lane on the outside.
As Bynum comes up from his defensive back position and just makes a game tackle on Sizemore.
Bynum certainly just made up for the lost fumble.
Third down and 13 here for North Laurel at their own 28-yard line. Sizemore's in the shotgun set. 2 wideouts each way. Connor Robinson is the setback to his left on 3rd and 13. Sizemore looks left. Steps up in the pocket, now rolls to the right. Look, he's going to keep it himself. Up across the 35, and that's going to be all. Short of the first down, as he'll be at around the 36-yard line. It's going to be 4th down and 5. Huge decision here for Chris Larkey as the clock ticks down around the 1-minute mark here in the third quarter.
Well, if you punt the ball, expect not to get it back until maybe halfway through the fourth quarter. At which point it could be a tie game, because we saw what Harlan County did to open up this second half. I mean, they put together a very, very long drive, continue to move the chains. 4th down and 5, you're in your own territory. That's a hard choice to make, but I'd say you got to kick this one.
Yeah, he's going to punt it. Sizemore's back to punt, standing at his own 25-yard line.
But the great thing about having Sizemore as your punter is if you were going to run a fake here,
they're going to reset the game clock to 1:08. Still 14-6, North Laurel. Not a lot of action here in the third quarter, but not a lot of points.
Right, defensive battle. North Laurel's defense kind of saving the day early on for their team. Punching the ball out at the goal line.
High but short kick. Hits at the 41-yard line. And it'll be down at the 39-yard line from North Laurel by Jace Hacker. That is where Harlan County will take over. Just under 1 minute to play in the third quarter, and the Black Bears still trail it by 8. As Jacob Wilson will lead Harlan County back onto the field. That's
still a one-score game. I mean, anything could happen here. I kind of expect them to go back to what was working. Those quick handoffs. They had a lot of success giving the ball to Hopkins. Hopkins had a major impact. Could see some quarterback keepers. Remember that huge pickup of 20 or more yards was from Wilson bouncing outside on the QB sneak on the quarterback keeper.
Wilson leads it ahead, or excuse me, keeps it himself, stumbles and falls down for a 1-yard loss back at the 38-yard line. Faked it to Hopkins, kept it himself, lost his balance, was tripped up. It'll be a loss of 1 and bring up 2nd down and 11 as the clock runs.
You know, I've seen Sizemore take some big hits. Sizemore from North Laurel, very slow to get up that time. He has been kind of limping around here after some of these hits. Playing back in the secondary. That could impact him on offense.
Wilson leads it. Flags fly. This one's going to be
start.
Yeah, this one's going to be blown dead. It's going to be a false start on Harlan County. It'll march it back 5 to the 33-yard line, and now the climb gets a little steeper for the Black Bears.
You know, we talked about, hey, clean it up a little bit. I mean, we have seen a penalty-plagued second half. It has been tough on both teams. North Laurel, they may have had like 6 penalties on their last drive. Every time they got something going, actually, this might be the end of the third quarter here.
Yeah, the clock's going to run inside 10 seconds now. Wilson sprints
them
up
have
to
to
the
run
line.
And they might
Wilson
not get
goes
this one
under
off.
center. He gets it off. Toss sweep to Bynum, trying to get outside. Gets to about the 34, fights ahead to the 35. That's going to be all, and that brings us to an end of quarter number 3. 14-6, North Laurel leads it. 4th and final quarter action when we return to Harlan County High School on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Well, we've got a good one here at Harlan County in the Class 5A District 8 opener for the Harlan County Black Bears and the North Laurel Jaguars. To start the fourth quarter, the Jaguars lead it under the direction of Chris Larkey on the road, 14-6. Harlan County has it, and a 3rd down and 14 from their own 35-yard line. Jacob Wilson, the junior quarterback, will be in the shotgun set, 2 wideouts each way, and you have 1 setback to the right. Wilson, screen pass, Bynum, caught, trying to get outside. It does to the 35, across midfield, cuts it up at the 30. He's gone to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. It's a touchdown, but there's a flag back at the 41.
What a great play, finding the edge. This one might be coming back. It looks like it is going to be a hold. You see Creech on the sideline, Eddie Creech. Pretty frustrated with that one. But, yeah, penalties are the name of the game in the second half for both teams. Not just one-sided. It has been pretty equal.
And this one is going to come back. It was thrown at the 41-yard line.
And that was a 3rd and 14, and they got all the way to the end zone from their own territory. But this one looks like they're going to be back around their 30-yard line.
Huge penalty on the Black Bears there as they march it back to the 31-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and 18 for the Black Bears.
And that was just a simple pass to the outside. It wasn't like a deep bomb or anything like that. Just give your guys the ball, give them space, and see what happens. Got a lot of great talent on this team.
Just like both of last year's games, this one is going down to the wires. We've got a fourth quarter battle here at Harlan County for district supremacy in district play between Harlan County and North Laurel. Shotgun set for Wilson, empty backfield. Wilson's going to roll left. Looking out pattern, caught. Fights ahead to about the 38-yard line. Nice play that time on the out pattern to Harlan County's Benjamin Lewis, the 5'11 senior. Takes it up to around the 39-yard line of the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th down and 10 for Harlan County. Eddie Creech, big decision here.
Yeah, I don't think you expected that if you're Eddie Creech from Storm Gambrill. Gambrill showing so much speed, able to make the tackle very quickly, limit the damage, but 4th and 9. Looks like they're going to punt this one. Don't trust potentially turning over the ball inside their own territory, which I don't blame them the way both of these teams have been playing. So a big stop on defense.
And Hutton Shepard jumped off sides for North Laurel. That's going to march it up 5 to the 39-yard line. Now does that change things for Coach Creech?
I don't think so. You might think about it. I don't think you have a go-to play that's guaranteed for 4 yards. I mean, they've had success passing and running. Actually, it looks like they're going to take a timeout here and think about it, which makes me think that they could actually go for this now.
Here comes the offense back onto the field. With 11:22 to go, this is the biggest play of the second half so far, aside from the Patrick Bynum fumble there in the back of the end zone, when Harlan County looked destined to cut this game to 2. Wilson's a quarterback. 2 wideouts each way, empty backfield. On a huge 4th and 5, Wilson rolls right, looking, still looking, and he's going to be sacked. Back at the 40-yard line, a huge play by Jace Hacker, the freshman linebacker. Gets Wilson back at the 40, and North Laurel holds.
And that's a tough play to make. I mean, you got to give him credit for going for it. I mean, the player in that turnover was definitely, it was all Hacker. Hacker saw that I think Wilson wanted to have a quarterback keeper. I think it was a designed quarterback run, bouncing to the outside, looking downfield.
He's been great as a freshman all night, Hacker.
Hacker had the decision, do I drop back in coverage? Do I help with the pass protection? Or do I run up there and try to make a play in case he decides to keep it? That was a tough play for Hacker to make, but he did that. He forced the turnover.
The jet sweep to Grant Woods, and he is rode down at the 39. It's going to be a pickup of 1. Game tackle that time from Harlan County's Jacob Bailey, the 5'9 junior. Gets him for a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd down and 9 as the clock continues to run.
Yeah, Woods only a sophomore.
Justin, the truth is, for Harlan County to have a chance to get back in this game and possibly tie it or even win it, they must hold North Laurel right here. If North Laurel scores, this game's probably over.
I don't know. I mean, that play that was called back on the penalty, I mean, they scored from, 60 yards out in about 10 seconds.
Sizemore in the shotgun, rolls left. Still looking, throws. It's going to be too high for Storm Gambrill, and he was wide open on the crossing pattern. It falls incomplete. It'll bring up 3rd down and 9. Boy, they set it up beautifully. Gambrill was there.
But see, even if North Laurel did score here, which it's tough now in a 3rd down and 9, North Laurel doesn't take a lot of time off the clock in any drive that they have. So far, at least from what we've seen in this game, it's taken a little bit of time for drives to develop for Harlan County, but I'd say, they're not out of it. They can score just as quickly as North Laurel.
3rd down and 9 for the Jaguars. Sizemore's in the shotgun set. He comes with trips left, 1 wide out to the right, and Connor Robinson is set back to his left. 3-step drop across the middle to Gambrill, incomplete. Boy, nice safety play that time by Bailey, I believe. It's incomplete, and it'll bring up 4th down and 9.
Yeah, Jacob Bailey read that the whole way, came with a full head of steam.
Oh, and we have a flag in the middle of the field.
This might be a hold, but just a great job by Bailey. Yeah.
It's going to be declined on the Harlan County Tourism replay. See Sizemore plenty of time.
Right as the ball gets there, boom,
Yeah.
Bailey.
Yeah,
I mean, even if Storm Gambrell got both hands on it, looked like he may have, the ball may have just been off target slightly, but even if Gambrell got both hands on it, reeled it in, I think Bailey's hit would have been too much for him to hold on.
4th down and 9 for North Laurel. Matt Brown back deep to receive the punt. Speedy Matt Brown standing at his own 5-yard line. Sizemore will be the punter standing at midfield.
Well, the defense did their job. Now the offense is going to have one more chance.
Good snap. Sizemore's punt. High spiraling kick. Brown fields it at the 10 on the run. Trying to get it to the outside. Cuts it up at the 20. Knocked down at about the 23-yard line, and a late flag flies.
But you know what's impressive, though? You know, Harlan County had the guts to go for it on 4th down, miss it, and then the defense comes out there not disheartened at all and makes a gigantic stop. Who knows what this penalty is, but still, that's a great job by the defense from Harlan County to stick with it.
Just over 10 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter, 14-6. And North Laurel leads it. Still waiting for the official signal from head referee Tim Kelly. Sideline warning on North Laurel.
Okay, so no yards involved here. There's been a sideline warning against each side so far.
Jacob Wilson leads the Harlan County offense back out on the field. 10:06 to play. Wilson will go under center. And the wing T set, one wide out each way. Hopkins, the setback behind him. They trap it to Brown. Moving right, cuts it up at the 25, tries to spin away, cannot. Gets to about the 28, maybe the 29, that's all. We'll officially call it a gain of 3 and bring up 2nd down and 7.
Harlan County's doing a nice job. I mean, earlier on in this game, they had a tough time defending those outside runs, those outside passes. They did give up some yards that time, but man, these runners are fast from Harlan County.
Clock continues to run now.
I think there's a timeout on the field.
I think Brinks came out on an injury timeout maybe. I think he had blood on him. So they're over there trying to get him patched up. Nonetheless, we play on. Clock runs. Wilson under center. 2 wing backs behind him, one wide out each way. It's going to be straight ahead. Fights ahead to across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. That time it's going to be Hopkins on the carry for a pickup of 3, and it's going to be 3rd down and around 3 for the Black Bears. Huge 3rd down again for Harlan County at their own 32-yard line. They need to get the nose of the football to the 35. Can the North Laurel defense make a stand here that could possibly put them in position to run out the clock and win this ball game?
This is pretty massive. A 3rd and 3, 2 receivers now.
Wilson bobbles the snap. He's trying to get it himself, and they're going to get about a yard short of the 1st down, I believe, to about the 34 is going to be Wilson, and now it brings up a 4th down and short.
If you were willing to go for it on 4th and 4 or 4th and 5 last time, I think this is a no-brainer for your head coach, Eddie Creech.
Yeah, this could be the ball game here. 4th down and inches for Harlan County. Clock continues to run. Wilson brings the play into the Harlan County huddle. North Laurel looking for a big stand that could possibly put this one away. Wilson under center, wishbone formation, one wide out each way. North Laurel has 9 in the box. Wilson calls for it, straight ahead, first down. Across the 35 to about the 37, strong run by Ben Landis. The 5'6" junior takes it for a gain of 3 to the 38-yard line and a first down, Harlan County, to keep the drive and the hopes alive.
I'm surprised we haven't called Landis' name more often.
Right.
He's been a very huge part of their offense.
Especially down at the Knox Central game we were at earlier.
But they have a lot of weapons here.
Landis, 35 carries on the year, 193 yards and a touchdown as he tries to keep Harlan County in this one. Wilson under center, wing T set with one wide out each way. Wilson looks to pass it, rolls right, still looking, cuts it up, he's going to run it across the 40, has a seam across midfield and tackled by Storm Gambrel in North Laurel territory at the 39-yard line. Huge run by Jacob Wilson and a first down for Harlan County.
How many options did Wilson have on that play? Got the ball, faked the first. Hey, check this out. So he fakes the first handoff, fakes the second handoff, looks to pass, and then turns upfield. I think he had 4 options on that play of whatever he wanted to do. What a fantastic job just seeing what the defense was giving him. Gets a massive chunk of yards now inside the 40.
First and 10, Harlan County at the North Laurel 39. Wilson under center. Going to give it straight ahead, no gain. Josh Turner straight up the middle, may have lost one, back to the 40. And it's going to be second down and 11.
Nice job by Creech Cole. North Laurel getting in there, making the quick tackle.
Yeah, Creech Cole, 35 tackles on the year, 2 solo. It's a nice one there. Wilson brings the play to the huddle on the left hash of the North Laurel 40-yard line. Harlan County desperately seeking points here, as we are nearing the halfway point here in the 4th and final quarter. Wilson under center with 2 wideouts to the right. Toss sweep to Matt Brown. Cutting it up at the 35 to the 30. One man to beat. He's gone to the 10, to the 5, and the Black Bears are within 2. Matthew Brown, the 5'4" sophomore. Here on the Harlan County Tourism replay, just a simple toss sweep, but again, for the second consecutive play, the Harlan County Black Bears cut it up against the grain, and Brown finds plenty of running room. He breaks one tackle there, and then nobody's going to catch him when he gets out in open space.
You're right. It's so simple. He goes right. All the play is designed to go to the right. All the blockers are on the right. And what does he do? He turns left. It's so brilliant, but catches everybody off balance on defense. And with that full head of steam going forward, they're going to go for 2 here. Try to make this a 14-all game.
Wishbone formation for Wilson. One wide out to the left here on the 2-point conversion attempt. Calls for it. Landis, right side, off tackle, and the 2-point conversion is good. 6:07 to play here in the 4th quarter. 14-all. We'll be back with the finale here on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Well, we've got a ball game on our hands, Justin. 6:07 to play in the fourth quarter. We're tied at 14.
I mean, listen to the crowd here. They are on their feet, stomping, smashing the cowbells in the air. This is a pumped-up fan base. Looks to start district play 1-0, get their first win of the season. Everybody on their feet. Fireworks smoke still in the air. And all the teammates dancing up, bouncing up and down on the sidelines. I mean, if you just look at the body language from both sides, a huge difference here.
Bynum to kick from the left side of his own 40. Squib kick. North Laurel lets it go. I believe they bounced on it. It's loose at the 40. And I believe it was the Jaguars pouncing on it. Huge recovery by Grant Woods of North Laurel.
Injured player in the field for North Laurel. Looks like it's number 70, Cole Sizemore. He's limping out there. I can't believe he's actually going to stay in. He could barely walk. But they're going to have an offensive lineman out there that isn't probably going to be able to do much here. Actually, it looks like he's moving up to the line with a little bit more pace.
Sizemore's in the shotgun set. Trips left, one wide out to the right. Connor Robinson will be the setback to his left. Sizemore's going to keep it himself off left tackle, trying to get outside and does. Cuts it up. Now trying to get back out. Carries the Harlan County tackler across the 45 to the 46. It's going to be a pickup of 6 to bring up second down and 4. Good field position here for North Laurel.
Well, think about it in the grand scheme of things. We're now under 6 minutes remaining. North Laurel is looking at it like, okay, let's not rush things. Let's not hurt ourselves with penalties. Let's make this the final drive of the game. If you're head coach Chris Larkey, you want the final play to be potentially a score here. But they got a lot of yards to gain, a lot of time to kill.
Sizemore in the shotgun, trips right, one wide out left. Robinson the setback to his right. Sizemore, 3-step drop, simple out pattern to Brinks is caught. Fights into Harlan County territory to the 45-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 9, maybe 10 on the play, and it'll be a first down for North Laurel.
And I have a feeling if you're head coach Chris Larkey, you're telling everybody, stay in bounds. I don't care if you lose a couple yards, stay in bounds. Let's keep this clock going.
Clock is going to tick down to the 5-minute mark. The scenario last year, North Laurel started out quickly in both games. Harlan County come back to win. Tonight, North Laurel jumps out early. Harlan County has come back to tie it. Sizemore looks deep down the sideline. It's going to be incomplete. Broken up by Patrick Bynum that time, intended for Brody Brinks down at the 25-yard line. It falls incomplete and brings up second down and 10. You know, this has evolved here in the second half into a chess match between these two coaches.
But so far, it's funny because they've had opposite success from the first half. Harlan County threw it a lot in the first half, had success running in the second half. Now we've seen some more quarterback keepers.
Sizemore straight ahead. Makes a man miss, does Robinson, and he fights his way for the first down to the 30-yard line. A huge run by Connor Robinson, the 5'7" sophomore, to be a youngster out there. How about that play, just in case?
Robinson, he had to deal with so many defensive linemen, and then he made it through the linebackers, had a nice spin move, just kept his legs going. I mean, that is a will to win right there.
First and 10 from the Harlan County 30. Trips right, one wide out to the left for Sizemore. Calls for it. Robinson again, straight ahead. Fights his way ahead across the 30 to about the 27-yard line. Going to be a pickup of 3 and bring up second down and 7. Boy, Robinson just runs so hard, especially into the heart, the teeth of the interior of that Harlan County defense.
He's getting hit right at the line of scrimmage. I mean, every single play he's getting hit, but it's up to him to keep his legs driving. That time he just kept him moving.
Inside 4 minutes to play here. North Laurel trying to put together what could potentially be a game-winning drive here on the road at Harlan County. 2 wideouts each way for Sizemore. He's going to roll right. Looks for Brinks. Incomplete. Dropped it. He was open at the 24-yard line. It falls incomplete and brings up 3rd down and 7.
Brinks looked up. Y'all saw it. He looked up. He could sense the pressure coming that time. I think it was Josh Turner that was coming in there.
Yes.
Looked like he was going to hit him pretty quickly. So I think he wanted to see where the pressure was coming from, see if he could maybe evade that and get upfield for a few more. This is it.
Here we go. 3rd down and 7 for the North Laurel Jaguars at the Harlan County 27-yard line. Trips right. One wide out left. Robinson, the setback to Sizemore's right. Sizemore looks. He's going to keep it himself across the 25. Fights his way down close to the 20, but I think he's going to be out of bounds, maybe about a yard or two short. They mark him out at about the 22-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 5, and it brings up an all-important 4th down and 2. Justin, this could be the ball game right here.
Yeah, that was a designed run the whole time. You have a lot of options now.
4th down and 2.
Sizemore has a great ability to roll out. Even with pressure, he can still throw it downfield. You have some very reliable receivers, and if nothing's there, he can use his feet to get upfield. I wouldn't be surprised to see him roll out, look upfield, and maybe take off with his feet. Only needs 2 yards here as there's a timeout. I think this is from Harlan County.
Timeout, Harlan County. That is their 2nd timeout burned of the 2nd half. They'll have 1 remaining. There's 3:39 to go. As you see, the Black Bear defense getting a breather here. 4th down and 2. Justin, play the role of offensive coordinator. You putting it in the air to Brody Brinks, Dalton Sizemore keeping it, or are you putting it on the sophomore Connor Robinson?
If I'm head coach Chris Larkey, I'm going to have 3 receivers out to one side. I'm going to roll Sizemore out to that side. I'm going to leave it up to him. He's been brilliant so far. If you see something open, if you see maybe you have a slant, a curl, I don't know what your routes are going to be, but if something's open, take it. If not, use your feet and get up there, because that ability for him to use his legs, but make sure he rolls to his right. I think he's a little bit better still throwing down the field if he rolls to his right. So I'd split the 3 receivers out to his right.
Giving him an RPO look, a little run-pass option action.
Yes. I mean, you could even have a back with him. If he needs to pitch it behind him, you have that as an option. I think you give him as many outs as he can possibly have, but you leave it up to Sizemore, who's just played very well, been a great leader for the Jaguars.
4th and 2, coming out of the timeout. We are knotted up at 14 in a huge game with postseason implications, even though it's the opener in Class 5A District 8 play for both of these squads.
Hey, not many of those games. Everyone's important.
So here we have it. 4th down and 2. 2 wideouts left, 2 to the right for North Laurel. Sizemore in the shotgun set with Robinson the setback to his right. And Harlan County jumps off sides, and it could give them a free 1st down.
The crowd holding their breath right now. And that is tough. I mean, you think about what Harlan County has given up here. Remember, their first drive of the 2nd half, inches away from scoring, and that could have made that last score for Harlan County the one that put them ahead. We'll never know, but that one on a 4th and 2, now giving them a free 1st down, that is tough.
Robinson straight ahead, dives to the 15, pickup of 2. It's going to be 2nd down and 8, but more importantly for the Jaguars, that clock continues to tick.
Yeah, this most likely could be the final drive, and if it's not, if you're Harlan County, whatever happens here, you might get the ball back. You might only have a minute or maybe less.
Clock is running down to nearly the 3-minute mark. 2nd down and 8 for North Laurel at the Harlan County 15-yard line. Sizemore in the shotgun set. 2 wideouts each way. Robinson the setback to his right. They fake it to Robinson. Out pattern to Brinks, catches it at the 8, falls down around the 5. They'll mark him at the 6. It'll still be 1st and goal for North Laurel. Sizemore to Brinks. That combination could be deadly for Harlan County tonight, as North Laurel has been spot on all night, and I cannot tell you enough how impressive it has been to watch Dalton Sizemore operate tonight.
It has been, and you're right, that combination has been lethal. But what I appreciate from the Harlan County Black Bears is they actually had some pressure in his face. It looked like Sizemore may have been looking to run, but that run option was eliminated very quickly. Had to throw it downfield, find Brinks. They're going to rush up to this line.
1st and goal, play clock at 3, timeout North Laurel, and we will keep it right here. 2:31 to play, 14 all, 1st and goal at the 6. Boy, ton of drama here late in the 4th.
Yeah, but this defense nearly made a goal line stand. Remember, they had they stopped 3 running plays earlier in the first half. Excuse me, it was only when they opened up the passing game with Sizemore again to Brinks that they were able to finally punch one in the first half. But right now, the wild card here is this game goes by Sizemore, I think.
Yeah.
Does Sizemore run it or does he pass it? I think it's up to him to do whatever happens here. If they're going to win the game, it's going to be through him.
It has been a long time since I have seen a kid mature in just 4 weeks as Dalton Sizemore has as quarterback at North Laurel. Against South Laurel, he looked a little bit unsure of himself. He looked like he was in a growing period. Against North Laurel, look at what's happened, just in case. The youth has all of a sudden grown up for Chris Larkey and the Jaguars.
I think he's earned himself the starting position. I mean, I know they still use Hauser as a run-first option as quarterback. But now that he's shown some ability to run himself that he has shown earlier in the season, I think he's certainly earned the starting role.
1st down and goal from the 6. Sizemore under center. He's going to sneak it himself. Gets cut down at around the 4, maybe the 5-yard line. We'll call it a pickup of 1, and it'll bring up 2nd down and goal at the 5. You talked about it. The interior of that Harlan County defense tripped him up quick.
I'm just surprised. I mean, Sizemore has also taken a lot of hits. Even on defense, we've seen him slow to get up. They are putting him in the belly of the beast in every play. That time, Sizemore takes a massive hit right at the line. But hey, your objective is met. Right now, you're under 2 minutes. You're chipping away at that clock. Only 5 more yards to go, though.
Power eye behind Sizemore. Brinks the wide out to the right. Straight ahead, Robinson fights his way to the 4, and that's going to be all. Host of Black Bears led that time by Gary Henson, the senior. Hits him for a gain of about 1, and it's 3rd down and goal for the Jaguars.
It's tough because you only have 5 yards to go. But your best play has been the pass. It's been through the air. Their final timeout for the Black Bears.
Harlan County's going to have no timeouts. Justin, I'm going to let you play the role of coach here. Again, North Laurel, if they do not get the touchdown here on 3rd down, are you going for the game-winning field goal?
I don't know because they had the kick earlier. Remember, their first PAT of this game after the first touchdown, they missed it. I don't know. It's tough. I think you're gonna. I think if it was me, I'd go for it and I'd put it through the air twice to Brody Brinks. I'd create some kind of play where maybe he's on the side with 3 receivers. You actually have him drop back and you have 2 blockers in front of him. I'm not sure what you do, but if it's me, I'm going Sizemore to Brinks 2 plays in a row.
If it's me, with the amount of time on the clock, I don't want Harlan County to have another opportunity. I keep the ball on the ground here. I run the play clock all the way down, take a timeout. Essentially, it's an extra point field goal with where the ball is if they don't get it. Let's see what Chris Larkey chooses to do here. Nonetheless, a huge.
But do you have a lot of confidence in the kicking game if you're North Laurel?
No, but you're on the road. If an extra point or the distance of an extra point could get you a road victory, I think you try it. Offset eye. Power eye behind Sizemore here on 3rd and goal. Sizemore rolls out to the left, looking, being pursued, throws it incomplete. Intended for Brinks, out to the left, 1:25 to play, 4th and goal. What does Chris Larkey do here?
Man, Sizemore has left it all out there, takes another big hit. And it looks like they're not starting the play clock. Is there a timeout on the field?
The ball is marked right in the middle of the 5-yard line. I can't imagine you wouldn't go for a field goal here. Clock ticks, 20 seconds on the play clock. Coach Chris Larkey gives Dalton Sizemore the call, and he brings the play into the huddle. As we're going to have a timeout. We're going to have a timeout taken by North Laurel.
But that time, that last play, I don't know if we have a replay of that or not, but it was pretty phenomenal watching Harlan County get penetration. They just walked past the offensive lineman pretty much with ease. They were in the backfield so quickly. Sizemore wanted to roll out to his left. It looked like he saw that was the open side of the field, but Sizemore had nowhere to go, and he did a great job of getting rid of it. Luckily, too, it wasn't intercepted because it seemed like he didn't quite see exactly where he was going to throw it downfield, just trying to maybe get it to the ground or out of bounds.
It would be a 21, maybe a 22-yard field goal for North Laurel if they choose to kick it. If they go for it, it's 5 yards, and if you get it, you likely leave Harlan County not only alive, but with the biggest district victory that you've had in quite some time.
I think any points here, it's going to make it extremely difficult for Harlan County. I mean, Harlan County, let's say they miss it. Then they have to get the ball in the 5-yard line and attempt to go 95 yards to win this one in a minute and a half. That's tough.
They're going to kick it.
It is a smart move just in that if you miss it, you're likely going to overtime, and you do have a little bit of momentum on your side.
22 yards officially. Good snap. Kick is up. It's low, and it is no good. Off to the left. Oh, my. Boy, from our vantage point, it looked really close, Justin.
It did look like it went through from up here. But all the fans on their feet. I was thinking I was going to have to sneak out of here to go run and grab my camera to go get an interview, potentially with whichever coach walked away with a victory here. But
1:25 to play.
I mean, this could set up for a storybook finish for Harlan County now. All of a sudden, a minute and a half, you have no timeouts remaining.
Right.
I mean, you have to get out of bounds. You can't turn the ball over. A turnover here is quite literally lethal for your squad. Look at the fans dancing up there. They are happy after that miss. It seems like a lot of the big plays have been in the advantage of North Laurel. It seems like they've had more plays. They've probably gotten a lot more yards than Harlan County. But look at that. They've stuck around. Harlan County is right here with an opportunity to win this one in the waning seconds of this game.
14-0. Harlan County has it. 2 wideouts each way. Wilson in the shotgun set. One set back to his left. From his own 20. Looks. Screen pass. Incomplete. Intended for Matt Brown. Coming out of the backfield. 2nd down and 10 for Harlan County.
Are you looking back at that opportunity and saying, man, why didn't we pass it twice? I mean, I don't know. You know, because you also talked about running it. It looked like on that 3rd down play they wanted to pass it. Maybe they wanted to have 2 passing plays in a row.
2nd down and 10 for the Black Bears. Wilson brings the play into the Harlan County huddle. 4-man front for North Laurel. Now Wilson will go under center. Wing T formation. They give it straight ahead to Hopkins. Fights his way to about the 23. That's going to be all to bring up 3rd down and 7. And North Laurel will take their final timeout of the 2nd half.
That's a team that has some confidence on defense. If you're willing to take a timeout here.
Or no, The clock stopped momentarily, but it'll keep going inside a minute now.
But the play calls right now from Harlan County make me feel like they are happy getting to overtime tied in this one.
Wilson under center. Wing T set. Wilson keeps it himself straight ahead across the 25 to the 28. Timeout North Laurel because it's going to be 4th down and 2 with 35 seconds to go. Final timeout of the evening for North Laurel. And Harlan County will likely be forced to punt.
And now this snap kind of means everything here. Got to have a clean snap. Make sure it's not blocked. You got to block very well up front. That was a very short turnaround, too. I mean, that was a very quick stop from North Laurel.
3 and out.
I think Harlan County was content getting to overtime, tied. But now all of a sudden they've kind of left a little bit too much time on the clock there. That first pass that was incomplete only took off 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, so many things you have to worry about. The bad snap on the punt, a North Laurel return, a run back, which would basically be a walk-off, a game winner. So 35 seconds to go. A lot can happen here. 14 all. Harlan County and North Laurel. Been an excellent ball game all night.
It has been. What a finish, though.
Yeah.
You know, we've only had one overtime game so far for our Appalachian Wireless Games of the Week. That was the Pike Central Shelby Valley game. Went to double overtime.
And the Pike County Bowl.
Pike County Bowl.
4th down and 2 for Harlan County coming out of the timeout. Ball will be on the right hash over on the far sideline. It'll be Patrick Bynum to punt for Harlan County, the 6', 176-pound senior. North Laurel will send Dalton Sizemore, I believe, back deep to return. Actually, they're not going to put anybody deep. Good snap to Bynum. Kick high, spiraling kick. Will hit about midfield and be down by Harlan County at the North Laurel 49-yard line with 27 seconds to go. But as we've seen with Dalton Sizemore's arm and connection to Brody Brinks, anything is possible.
I'm taking some shots right here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm putting it all in the line. 27 seconds. You don't know what could happen in overtime. You know, both these teams can score at will. You have no idea if you're going to be the one that outlasts Harlan County. If you're North Laurel right now, I am putting it downfield. Both teams are out of timeout, so you're going to have to throw it maybe toward the sidelines a little bit. Hopefully your receivers can get out of bounds if you're the Jaguars.
North Laurel sends Elmore, Hurst, and Gamble out to the right, Brinks to the left. Sizemore pass to Brinks, left side, trying to get out of bounds. He makes a man miss and gets all the way down to the 30-yard line and gets out of bounds. A huge catch on first down of 21 yards.
20 seconds. That took about 11 seconds. Did they have it at 30 or 31?
7 seconds on the clock.
Oh, that was 7 seconds off the
yeah.
clock. Okay. Hey, 2 more of those plays. You're in position to maybe either kick another one or they're going to start the clock again? I thought it was out of bounds.
Clock is running down inside 10 seconds, and Sizemore spikes it as we have a flag that flies.
I thought I saw the call that it was out of bounds from that side judge.
He may have just been stopping the clock for the first down.
For the chains.
Meaning he did not get out of bounds.
And this one's going to be moved back.
Harlan County may have had too many men on the field here. Officials conferring.
Hey, something happened right here. North Laurel already has the play into their players. They're ready to line up and go as soon as they figure out where this is going, which direction. North Laurel is going to snap this one immediately. Harlan County better be ready on defense.
We're going to march it back, so apparently it was on North Laurel. Or excuse me, they're going to leave it right there at the 30.
Huh. So we have no word on what that was.
Let's hear from head referee Tim Kelly. So false start on North Laurel. 12 men on the field on Harlan County. Those penalties offset, and the clock will run. One last play for North Laurel. Sizemore, a 5-step drop. He's going to heave it down the field to Gambrel, and it's going to be incomplete. Sizemore got it into the end zone. But it falls incomplete, and I believe that will be the end of regulation. 14-14 overtime when we return to Harlan County here on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Back here at Harlan County, an intense district opener, Justin. Harlan County and North Laurel, you talked about it on our 6 p.m. newscast. Well, this is turning into a great rivalry.
Yeah, both these teams are just built very similarly. North Laurel able to put it through the air a little bit more, and Harlan County able to run it more successfully on the ground a little bit more than North Laurel. And both teams just have a lot of stars and athletes. Right now, we are in an overtime period. But the ball is at, I believe, at the 10-yard line, right?
I think Harlan County will have it at the 10-yard line. Both teams will get a possession here in overtime at the opponent's 10-yard line. It'll be untimed, being in overtime.
A lot riding on this one for both teams.
Yeah, for Harlan County, can they turn around their season right here at home? This is a make or break moment. You lose this one, you could lose them all.
Well,
it'd be a disastrous season. You win this one in overtime, it may spark you to another run like you had last year.
Yeah, what I like is, you throw the records out the window, literally. Actually, because you win this one if you're Harlan County, none of the first 4 losses matter.
For North Laurel, last year it was heartbreak against these Black Bears twice, both in the regular season and in the playoffs. You know they want sweet revenge, especially on the road, and they've played good enough to do so.
Yeah, they want that revenge. They've played very well on the road, but it's a new group of guys. A lot of these guys were on the team, but they weren't starters. They remember that loss in the playoffs, that huge loss, and Harlan County moving forward and actually going really deep into the playoffs. But Yeah, it's a revenge game for them. It's a great rivalry. I think every year this is going to be a game you circle on the calendar thinking, man, that's going to be a good one. That's going to be a good matchup. But both these teams have just elevated their play. A win here today, and it's a brand new season for Harlan County. A loss or a win here, actually a win here for North Laurel, and they are in great position. I mean, 3-2 on the season. Started off with a loss. I mean, their last game was a loss, trying to turn things around. But, yeah, you throw the records out the window. A win here today, and you're doing very well in district play. And the clock is winding down. Now 45 seconds until they snap this one.
Harlan County will be on offense here to open overtime. It'll be Jacob Wilson at quarterback. He'll be joined by a host of Black Bears. North Laurel going to stick with that four-man front as they creep those linebackers close to the line of scrimmage. Coach Eddie Creech coming out to have one extra word with his quarterback, Jacob Wilson. And we are all set and ready for overtime here. 14-14 in the Class 5A District 8 opener for both of these schools. Harlan County looking for their first win of the year. North Laurel looking for a win, which would be 4 of their last 5 after that opening loss on the road to South Laurel. Wilson under center, wing T sets. One wide out to the left. Wilson calls for it, leads it straight ahead, fights his way down to around the 6-yard line. It's Gary Henson for Harlan County on the carry, the 6'1", 185-pound senior.
Now, I don't think either of these teams have a ton of confidence in their kicking game. I think it's a four-down possession for both teams. But remember, last time they were successful, they had those quick handoffs to Hopkins. Then all of a sudden on a 3rd or 4th down play, there's a quarterback keeper from Wilson. Could we see another quick handoff followed by potentially a quarterback keeper?
Wilson calls for it, leads it again, or keeps it himself, breaks a tackle at the 5, fights his way down to about the 3, maybe the 2. It's going to be 3rd and goal after the 5-yard keeper from Jacob Wilson.
And they are inching closer. It looks like they are knocking on the door. Now a 3rd down play. I mean, it looks like if they just keep running it, if they keep it on the ground, North Laurel is not able to stop this. Creech.
Wilson brings the play into the huddle. Play clock down to 10. Wilson goes under center. Calls for it, leads it right. Going to be stopped short. It's going to be 4th and goal. May have lost a yard that time. Ben Landis takes it for a loss of 1. It's going to be 4th and goal.
Wow. All the chips on the table here. And you know what they've had success with is maybe run a bootleg, quarterback keeper, something. Just keep it with Wilson. If he's able to.
Can the North Laurel defense give their offense a chance to win the ball game here? Each team gets one timeout in overtime. Harlan County uses theirs here.
They're going to say this is 4th down and 3 to go.
4th and goal from the 3. A lost 1 did Landis on the 3rd and goal from the 2.
This is huge.
Where do you turn? Justin, do you stick with the power running game? Do you put your fade into the hands of Wilson? Do you give him an RPO and run pass option? What's the call here from Coach Eddie Creech?
I think, Wilson has shown so much success. Maybe it's a fake pass and he takes off with his legs, or maybe it's a designed run with Wilson, but maybe he has a pitch option. Maybe he has a guy on the outside he can pitch it to who sneaks in the end zone. I feel like if they keep it on the ground, that's their best chance, and I think with Wilson's legs, I think that's their best opportunity to get ahead here.
Take your pick. I think you turn right here to Matt Brown, who's been sensational tonight, or Patrick Bynum, who's been your workhorse all year.
Bynum has been superb. I think Bynum wants some redemption from what happened earlier. I think if you give Bynum the ball, Bynum is hungry right now. He'll find the end zone.
So here we have it. 4th down and goal for the Harlan County Black Bears on the 3-yard line in overtime. Crowd comes to their feet. Wing T sets for Wilson. 2 wideouts left. North Laurel stacks the box. They give it to Bynum on the trap, and he gets in. Touchdown, Harlan County.
First lead of the game for the Black Bears. But these extra points could be critical in the outcome of this overtime. Are they going to go for 2?
(20-14), Harlan County leads it. It appears that they will go for 2 as Wilson brings the play into the Harlan County huddle. Wilson under center. Wing T set, 1 wide out each way. Wilson counters it again with Bynum, trying to get outside, cuts it up, and he does. The 2-point conversion is good. 22-14. Now North Laurel gets their chance.
Wow. I mean, Bynum, you could tell he was running with fury that time. He didn't want to be the reason why they potentially lost this game. Remember, first drive of the second half gets all the way down to the goal line, fumbles through the end zone. It's turnover, touchback. Bynum will not be denied.
22-14 as Patrick Bynum takes it into the end zone on 4th and goal from the 3. And on the same play, the trap play out of that wing T set, Bynum takes it into the end zone for the 2-point conversion. 22-14. Now Dalton Sizemore and company get a chance to answer.
Now, I mean, not only do they get their first lead of the entire game, but they also get the 2-point conversion.
Yeah.
I mean, this is big. Hey, I'm just saying, don't get ahead of yourself, because all of a sudden these fans have a lot of excitement. They have a lot of energy. I mean, the Harlan County defense is going to feed off that energy. But you've seen what he's able to do, especially when he's connecting with his wide receivers like Brinks. He also has Gambrill. We haven't called Gambrill's name in a while here. He has a lot of receivers and weapons on the outside. They still have to get the 2-point conversion. But they've shown they can do it in this game.
So here we go. Sizemore in the shotgun set. Connor Robinson, the setback to his right. He comes with 2 wideouts left, 1 to the right. Sizemore rolls right, feeds Gambrill, incomplete. Had him at the end zone. It would have been a touchdown, incomplete. Jacob Bailey on the coverage, 2nd down and goal from the 10.
I think you run the same play again. It was in Gambrill's hands. I mean, he was right there at the goal line, had the perfect advantage on the defensive back. That one seemed to work, because it looked like Sizemore also had options. If he wanted to turn upfield, he could have.
2nd down and goal for the Jaguars from the Harlan County 10. 2 wideouts each way for Sizemore. Robinson, the setback to his left. Sizemore rolls left, looking, throws. It is going to be incomplete. I thought Sizemore had a lane to run it there if he wanted to, Justin. I don't know if he could have got in, but I think he could have got inside the 5 easily.
Yeah, set up a 3rd, manageable.
Now it's 3rd down and goal from the 10.
I mean, you have 2 plays. Even if you keep it yourself, same thing. Maybe if you run it and only pick up 5 or 6 yards, you put yourself in a better position to make that 4th down play.
Sizemore's in the shotgun set. 2 wideouts each way. He looks right for Gambrill on the slant, incomplete. And it's all going to come down to this.
Well, the defense is stepping up for the Black Bears. They are having to really defend a lot just because of how many receivers they're splitting out, how much is happening in the backfield.
The ball game on the line, 22-14. Crowd on their feet. 4th and goal for North Laurel from the Harlan County 10-yard line. Sizemore breaks the huddle in the shotgun set. He'll send Brody Brinks out wide right. 3 wideouts to the left, and Connor Robinson will be the setback to his right. Sizemore rolls right. Looking. Still looking, gonna run himself, fumbles it, and the ball game is over. And the Harlan County Black Bears have come back to win it at home for their first time this season. My, oh my.
An impressive win. A lot of heart from this team. Can't believe they came back and won the way they did. It looked like North Laurel had so much momentum at several different points in this game, but Harlan County's defense kept them in it. Remember, Harlan County went for it on 4th down at one point, missed it. Defense got a 3 and out. Defense played phenomenally well here on this drive in overtime, defending 3 different pass plays and stopping Sizemore on a quarterback run.
22-14 in overtime. Harlan County wins it. We'll be back to wrap this one up here on the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week. Welcome back here to Harlan County, where we expected a wild and wacky affair here in this district rivalry between Harlan County and North Laurel, and they certainly delivered as it went to overtime, and the Harlan County Black Bears get their first win of the season, 22-14. As always, big thank you to my teammates tonight, just in case. Also, camera crew down on the field, also back in the truck and upstairs in the booth. Thank you to everyone as always. But for now, that's going to wrap things up. From Harlan County High School, it's 22-14. The Black Bears win it in overtime. We thank you for watching the Appalachian Wireless Game of the Week.